you, as it has for so many others. So call 1-800-4RELIEF and give Relief Factor's 3-week quick start a try. It's only $19.95, less than $1 a day to get your life back. Just go to ReliefFactor.com or call 1-800-4RELIEF. That's 1-800-4RELIEF. And see how you can say yes to more of everything you want.
WFOM and W292EV Marietta, a Dickey broadcasting station. This hour is presented by Subaru of Gwinnett. You'll love the difference. The Morning Extra, only on Extra 106.3.
Morning, y'all. Tug and Los until 10 on Extra 106.3. Glad that you are here. 404-741-1230. Love to hear from you during the show, throughout the show, whenever you have time to engage with us. But if you don't have time to call, you can always find us on social media easily at Extra 106.3, at Front Office Los for Carlos, at Whiskey Click for Jeray, and at Tug Cowart for me.
This is where you can come to deal with your Trump derangement syndrome.
If you need to. We are certified Trump derangement syndrome specialists. We've been focused on it for about 4 or 5 years.
You will get a momentary feeling of euphoria before you go right back to your miserable life.
That's right. So call in now.
I was testing this out last night.
What do you mean?
So I was trying to kind of get an idea as to, who has this, who doesn't, right? And
You're doing one-on-one evaluations.
And I decided maybe the best way to do this is to go and use X. Because, you can always search a profile.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So if you've ever thought about trying to see what your level of derangement syndrome is, you can go to your own profile. Highly suggest this. Anybody who wants to try this morning,
okay.
Go to your own profile.
I'm going to do that right now.
And all you have to do is hit the search function and type in Trump.
Search.
And I want you to see how long it takes to get past the first 10 posts. All right, so for instance, for me, if I go through like my last 10 posts that include Trump, I go back to like 2022. All right, some people don't get out of July.
Yeah, that's right. Let's see here. No.
See how this works?
Yeah.
Have you figured this out yet?
Yeah, I'm looking. I have 0 level Trump derangement syndrome. 0 level. Yeah, there we go. I mean, that's I got 0.
I don't want you to highlight this person, okay? But I just want to show you, just as an example, okay? Yeah. Just as let me show you how this works.
Yeah.
When you do this, I want you to take a look at how long it takes. Well,
oh, God.
I mean, it's all it is. It's ongoing. It never ends.
It was just back to 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 back.
I was like, wow. Imagine being that level of TDS, which is why, in my opinion, we are in the position we're in now, where you actually had a former president with such strong TDS decided to turn the federal government into his own personal weapon
and go after him. Yeah. Outside of like family stuff, I mean that's kind of what I post on social media.
Well, then you're TDS free.
I'm at 0%. The closest thing I have to Trump is Mr. T.
Oh, well,
my childhood hero.
You're doing well.
and he's in Mr. T's head to toe American flag, and he's just like, let freedom ring. I love it. God bless America. So he's good in my book.
Let's see. By the time I get to my 10th post, I'm into 2024.
Oh, goodness gracious.
All right.
Yeah. So you're at a 0 to.
Obviously, I'm very low, tiny amount.
Yeah. Very, very small.
I guess I'm not really part of the cult.
Well, but see, that's the thing that I've found about our show is that we're not cultish.
No, but
which I'm proud of.
But we do enjoy, and I do love saying "in Trump's America" because that really
that sets off the TDS.
That is there to upset that level of TDS.
Are we awful for doing that? Should we reconsider?
No, no. I think it's hilarious.
Me too.
Because anything I associate anything fun with Trump's America.
Yeah, well, that's right though, and
in Trump's America, we happen to chase and put communists into prison.
And and we fly the American flag on the front porch.
In Trump's America.
It's crazy how that works. And it's crazy how you know who votes the way they do by the way they have a flag on their front porch or not. You know, if they don't have a flag up, doesn't mean they don't, weren't Trump voters. But if they do have a flag up, you can damn near guarantee it that they voted for Trump. It's fascinating that the tells. Like, you can go to the Twitter page, there's a tell. You can go to the front porch, there's a tell. You can just pick it out. It's pretty easy. It's pretty simple.
It's a profile.
Yeah. We could go to work for the CIA, I bet.
Like, the only reason I have not, because again, we've been in the new home for 2 months, I have not put up, like I used to at my old home. I had a little flagpole.
Yeah, but this is because I hadn't gotten up yet. It's not because it doesn't belong.
Well, but it does belong.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
In fact, when I see my neighbors, I'm like, oh, okay, where am I going to put this thing?
Well, no, that's what I mean. It's just because you hadn't had time to put it up. It's not that it doesn't belong there.
But then when I do it, I get to downplay my wife.
Oh, yeah.
Although I joke, she's very patriotic.
Which is good. Remember we had Liberal John call in. He was very proud of the American flag.
She's mostly a military family. She's very patriotic. She'll come around eventually.
Yeah, I hope so. Gosh, I hope so. That's very important that she does, because the United States is the greatest country on earth. It's the greatest country to ever exist, and there's not even anything that compares to it. 0 countries compare to it.
I think it's going to take some time before she realizes that the party is fully the party of the communists. And if there's anything that's gone on in the last 4 days, since we got around to Friday, the level of corruption that has gone on in this country since 2016, 2017, you have to make a decision at this point. It is so strange. Like, everybody thinks that they live in the most important time in history. Right? Everybody thinks it's my time. It's the most important time in history. We're going to change the world. We have had the most wild last couple of years that we can actually make that argument that the determination of where this country is going is going to be determined over the next couple of years.
That's right. The sad part of it is the last 4 years have been the most maybe awful 4 years of the United States history, and that includes the Revolution, that includes the Civil War, that includes all of it. The last 4 years were so corrupt and so filthy and so dirty that you referred to it as a banana republic. And I remember the first time I heard you say it, I was like, boy, that don't feel good. I don't like the way that sounds.
I think you looked at me like, maybe that's too strong. And then when you take the step back and you start kind of calling balls and strikes and doing the math on it, and you go, wait a minute, there's an entire political party that has decided to make one man not just their opponent, but someone worth killing.
Public enemy number one.
And all of his followers, can we put them in prison?
So much so that we'll have the president stand up on a stage and scream.
And tell you that half of the country is your enemy.
And it wasn't good enough just to do that, Los. It wasn't good enough just to say it. They had to project this red, ominous light to make sure that they built the ambiance, and then the silhouette of the Marines behind him. That was the most ugly thing I think I've ever seen in my life.
All right, let's go beyond that, because F your light. F the Marines. They actually then used real power.
Oh, I know, yeah, absolutely.
It didn't stop with just figures.
Yeah.
It didn't stop with just, here's the light.
That's right.
It was then, how do we use government to go after people in a way that has never been done in this country's history in terms of going after political figures?
But isn't that the perfect illustration, though, of what they were doing? It was
a demonstration of what they're going to do.
Yeah. Or were doing.
I mean, straight out of 1930s Germany.
Yeah, that's what they were doing.
Turns out Hitler wasn't kidding about this stuff. Yeah. Neither was Joe Biden and the rest of the cronies.
Or whoever put him up there, because he had no idea what he was talking about, we learned. But that's the thing, and we talked about this yesterday when it came to the Russia hoax. The fact that John Brennan's notes said Hillary is cooking up something, stewing up something. He, in his own notes, it said, this is a hoax, this is not real. But that didn't stop them.
No, take a listen. This is from Fox News, and this is just an analysis of now. It's not just the 100 pages that have been submitted by Tulsi Gabbard to the Department of Justice. It's not just, here's all the information on what they're doing. Now they also have Brennan's handwritten notes, where Brennan was making note of what was actually happening in the meeting. Take a listen.
Prove this plan to falsely smear Trump for colluding with Russia and helped finance the bogus dossier. We now have Brennan's handwritten notes recounting 2 meetings at the White House that included Obama, Biden, Clapper, Comey. And they knew it was all phony, but instead of telling the truth to the American people, they kept silent. They secretly joined the scheme to vilify Trump. They altered intel documents to propel the scandal, even though U.S. intelligence determined there was no Russian interference and helping Donald Trump win. So, this was the beginning, Brian, of a decade-long lawfare campaign, which could actually constitute a vast conspiracy case. And I think that's one of the things the FBI is now looking at. Brennan and Comey are already under investigation, but I suspect it may morph into something much larger.
Dude, how dumb do you have to be to let your notes go into the record? Like, what kind of idiot?
Well, I think that's a legal perspective, isn't it? Like, anything you write down has to also be part of this, part of the record. I don't know enough about whatever it goes into that office.
Well, but think about what you just said. Legal. They don't care what's legal. They didn't do anything legal. Everything they did was illegal.
But look what Susan Rice did. Look what Brennan was doing. These were people that were covering their own backsides.
Well, they did a bad job of it.
Yeah, they didn't do a great job of it. Susan Rice, when she sent that email to herself
yeah,
that said everything was done by the book, it was almost a note of, I didn't have anything to do with this part of it.
Make sure you know.
I'm just making sure that I have a get-out-of-jail-free card here. It sounds like Brennan also put his own get-out-of-jail-free card if this goes the wrong way, if somewhere down the line this happens.
But if you're Brennan, knowing that, having written the notes, knowing that they were going into a legal document to document what's happened in the United States government behind the scenes, obviously it's going to be restricted from public view, but it was, if ever investigated, it would be a part of that investigation, legal documents. And yet you still, knowing what you wrote, and you still proceeded down the path of illegality.
Well, I was forced into it, Senator.
Yeah.
I was forced into it, Your Honor. I didn't really want to go along with this. This was, what was it from New Jack City again? That's the educated brother.
Yeah, that's right.
I didn't have anything to do with this.
It wasn't me.
I was just following orders.
Yeah.
Just following orders.
Yeah.
Just trying to fulfill my post.
Yeah. Just
this is the way these people play these games.
Yeah, I know. Because you have to,
but it's interesting to get even that, because it really sounds like you're starting to have, I know Tulsi Gabbard talked about whistleblowers coming forward.
She said several.
I think we're going to be at the point, who is going to be the first to roll over? You're looking at 5 years on this stuff.
Dude, I can't wait.
The more we get into this, the more we talk about it, the more they all need 5 years. And politics, I was re-listening to the show yesterday, and I do this every day. I was re-listening to the segment, and I agreed with Chris, and I had put forth, hey, maybe you leave Barack Obama alone, and then you go about your business. And that's probably the most politically smart thing to do.
But explain why. Because
you created a political monster in Donald Trump by having that mugshot. It sits in the Oval Office.
You don't want to hand them the same thing.
You motivated the base. You created an entire atmosphere where it's him versus the establishment. That's what that did. At the same time, I think Barack Obama needs to go to prison.
Oh, definitely.
And I'm
dirty, filthy, low down.
And I keep in my mind going, what's the political smart thing? What's the best thing for the country?
Yeah.
The best thing for the country is all of these people to be in prison. The politically smart thing to do is let's leave Obama alone and go after the rest of them. The right thing for the country, for the man who led us down this path, who instituted so much of this communist garbage, who created this atmosphere where people have to be victims in order to have status in society. That was Barack Obama. That was the plant.
And now you see it, the entire DNC is built on that. The entire party.
The good of the country is to cut this thing out like a cancer.
That's right.
Is it the politically smart thing? I don't know.
See, that's the thing. What do you do? Because both have pros and cons, right?
Yes.
You put Obama away, justice has been done, but you also inflame that desire for Democrats to go out and vote. They'll use it on social media. They'll use it everywhere to rally other people to vote to the Democrat, and then that damages the United States in the moment. Because if they're elected again, they're going to do it again.
And this is what I talk about, how we might be in the most important times, or at least at a huge pivot point in this country.
Big pivot.
Because we're now a year and a week removed from Donald Trump being shot in Butler, Pennsylvania. Could you imagine the alternative universe we'd been in if his head got blown off on national television? And then to not know anything about the shooter, would it not scream? This was done by the administration that did this these are the sorts of things that you wonder, like, if that occurred, are we still even having a discussion about one America? Because now the other side is starting to talk about, like, we can't live with these people.
Yeah.
In the same way we've been talking about how we can't live with these people.
It's unreal to think about what would have happened.
And is perp walking Barack Obama the thing that sets it off?
Yeah.
Or has he lost enough steam and enough popularity and enough of a deity within that party?
Not yet. We talked about it yesterday. He's getting there. It's becoming clear he's getting there, but he's not there yet.
We are in a crazy time.
You know, another thing you said
Turbulent.
there about the shooter, and this is completely different. We know more about the stupid CEO of Astronomer with the Coldplay kiss cam than we know about Thomas Crooks.
Within 12 hours.
Yeah. We know who he was. We knew who she was. Everything. We knew everything. You know how much we know about Thomas Crooks? We know his name. That's about all we know. That's about it.
That's about all.
Think about how filthy, just back to the point of history happening.
You're in a giant pivot point. This is going to determine the direction of this country.
Lord.
Maybe prison's the way to clean it up.
No kidding.
These are big discussions, though.
They are, and your input, I would love to know what you think. And I know Los would too. 404-741-1230 at Extra 1063 across the social media platforms. What do you think? Do you arrest Obama? Do you not? And why? Give us reasons why on both. You do it or you don't. I would love to know what you think. 404-741-1230. 6 o'clock hours brought to you by Subaru of Gwinnett. When we come back, the deep state is nearing its end on Extra.
Stream Atlanta's only conservative voice anywhere you go with the Extra 1063 app. Now equipped with Apple CarPlay. That means you'll always have Extra's crystal clear HD stream right on your dashboard no matter where you are. Download the all-new Extra 1063 app now and start streaming.
It is a beautiful day in Atlanta, right? It's 74 now. It's going to be about 91 this afternoon. Beautiful day. God, I love summertime in Atlanta. But if you're trying to keep your house cool, well, that could be a challenge. If you have single pane windows in that house, going to be tough to keep that hot air out and that cool air in. What do? Well, that's easy. You call Southern Exteriors, 877-9-SOUTHERN, southernexteriors.co. Work with a company that's been just the mark of professionalism since 1999. Over 200,000 jobs under their belt, based in Jackson, Georgia, serving all of Metro Atlanta. Windows, doors, siding, roofing, gutters, millwork. They do it all. And not only do those more energy-efficient windows help with the power bill, they also make your house look like it was the day you bought it. That it gives it that sparkle, that gleam. It makes it the envy of the neighborhood. You don't think new windows changes the way your house looks? Think again. We changed our windows. Oh my gosh, can't tell you the difference. It's incredible. So you can do this. Get energy efficient windows and doors for that matter. Get a new roof, get new siding, all at Southern Exteriors. 10% off any job, no matter how big, or 12 months 0% financing, 877-9-SOUTHERN, southernexteriors.co.
A second opinion with Coach Pete's local trusted advisor, Craig Chandler of Chandler Wealth Management, can reveal red flags and what Coach Pete calls financial termites.
Yeah, let's look behind the scenes and make sure you're doing the right thing. And if you're not, the absolute best time to find out you're doing the wrong thing was before you did it. But now the second best time is today. And maybe you have too many financial termites in your portfolio. Who knows? Financial termites, too much risk, too many fees, and commissions coming out of your money. Say you give a broker $100,000 and then you look at your first statement and it says $90,000 and you didn't do any trading. And so be very careful about it. There's a lot of warning signs that pop up in my head when I hear different things. And if someone is slamming safe alternatives, folks, too, by the way, I mean, we practice risk and safety principles here, making sure you have that properly balanced portfolio. But if you have an advisor who's pushing all safety all the time or all risk all the time, then they're not the real advisors for you, I don't think, for retirement.
Call for a comprehensive review with Craig Chandler, 800-419-6164, 800-419-6164.
At Jim Ellis Ford Sandy Springs, you can take advantage of employee pricing on select new Ford models. That means you pay what Ford employees pay. No markup, no hidden fees. It's all part of Ford's bold campaign, From America, for America. While other dealerships may raise prices due to auto tariffs, Jim Ellis Ford Sandy Springs is stepping up, giving you the power to save big on American-made vehicles. Choose from bestsellers like the F-150, the rugged Bronco, the capable Explorer, and now when you purchase or lease a new Ford EV like the all-electric Mustang Mach-E, you'll receive a complimentary home charger and standard installation, making your switch to electric even easier. At Jim Ellis Ford Sandy Springs, you're not just getting a great deal, you're getting award-winning service from a locally family-owned dealership.
They're just 4 miles north of 285 on Roswell Road. Visit them online at jimellisford.com.
Jim Ellis Ford Sandy Springs, where you pay what we pay, where you can always expect the best.
You could save big when you bundle your auto, home, motorcycle, RV, or boat. Visit Progressive.com.
The Department of Energy says power outages could surge 10,000% over the next few years, thanks to power-hungry AI data centers. With the grid already struggling to keep up with demand, now is the time to prepare. My Patriot Supply is making it easy with their Christmas in July bundle, featuring the Grid Doctor 3300 solar generator. And for a limited time, they're including over $1,000 in free survival gear along with it. Emergency food, water filtration, backup power, and essential tools. The Grid Doctor delivers 3,300 watts of power, enough to run your fridge, CPAP, power tools, and more. It's whisper quiet, gas-free, and completely off-grid. When the next power outage hits, you'll be glad you planned ahead. Go to mypatriotsupply.com/radio. That's mypatriotsupply.com/radio. And grab the Christmas in July bundle while it lasts. Blackouts are coming. Go to mypatriotsupply.com/radio and get prepared today.
So the outside of your house is getting a little ugly, kind of like the outside of the camera I know. Well, here you go, Peach State Windows. I worked with Jeff, the owner, and his wife 25 years ago. Family business. She'll probably answer the phone. Energy Star, double hung vinyl windows, perfect fit. Or siding, holy cow, all the top brands like Hardy Plank that I got 25 years ago. Sales to fit your budget, Peach State Windows. Sure, but so much more than windows too. Entry doors, roof issues, they'll take care of all that stuff. 770-485-8011. PeachStateWindows.com.
The stories that matter to you. These are your Georgia headlines.
Here are your Georgia headlines for Tuesday, July 22nd. The Cobb County Fire Department was honored Monday as the first department in the country to use a new treatment designed to stop bleeding in seconds. Trauma Gel, a plant-based gel with FDA approval, is being tested in 6 agencies across the country. Firefighters say it's a major game changer in saving lives and have used the new treatment 17 times so far, including on one of their own. Georgia Tech will build one of the world's most powerful supercomputers. The National Science Foundation has awarded the university with $20 million to build the supercomputer known as Nexus. It will use AI to develop faster breakthroughs in medicine, robotics, and aerospace. Nexus is expected to be ready next spring. And a special delivery in Douglas County as a woman gave birth in the backseat of her vehicle on the way to the hospital. A Douglas County deputy provided a police escort and assisted the family after the father flagged him down. The baby girl is happy and healthy and back home with family. Today's weather partly cloudy with highs in the low 90s. We'll have some scattered storms overnight. With your headlines, I'm Jerry Payne for Extra 106.3.
Yes, it does appear that everything that you thought was true, that Barack Obama led this charge to lead a years-long multiple years and years long coup against Donald Trump when he was elected in 2016. But where does that lead you to? And if we're lucky, Los, it could end one major problem that we've had for going on, 9, 10 years, 11 years.
Might be in a situation where everything tied into what has been I guess it's been the rocket fuel for the left for a decade.
Yes.
What if that completely went away? What if we could make it part of the general understanding that what has spurred you on since 2016 never actually existed, or at least was never real?
I'm thinking that most people, when they hear the fact that the deep state is real, I think most people listening to this station would know that. Would
so
agree
what
with
exactly
it.
is the deep state?
And if you lay it out, it is that just the people that are elected into federal office, and then the people that they hire underneath them that are there way past the presidency or the Senate term,
that are aligned politically and believe that they run Washington
and they know better than you,
and they run the country,
and your vote doesn't count. Your vote doesn't matter.
Yes, you're temporary. I know you won your Senate race, but we're the ones in charge here. There's an interesting book, and I believe it's The Puppeteers, and it goes into how largely even those that hold a lot of power who've been in Congress and the Senate for a long time, it's their staff and it's the deep state. Those are the real power players. The politician is just echoing what needs to be echoed. They're saying what needs to be said. But it is staff and that deep state, the people that have been there that know, I got 30 years here if I want to, and I'm going to execute with the direction of this country according to my politics.
And the people, and according to the people that brought me in to do this. Because, yes, like a Barack Obama, temporary, 4 years, 8 years. Turned out to be 8 for him, but for Joe Biden, 4 years. But those people that still work in the guts of the government in Washington, D.C., which Trump has opened fire on, figuratively, of course. He's started this campaign to dismantle the deep state, to pull the deep state apart. And that starts with taking away funding, USAID being the most, the most brazen of the funding for, because that got kicked back to everybody. That was going to Democrats to get them elected, and that was going all over the world, sort of. But 10% of it probably going on, but it all came back to them, and they knew it.
I think it was J.D. Vance and Marco Rubio who pointed out that for every dollar, it was somewhere between 6 and 8 cents were actually making it to the organizations that it was assigned to.
Think about that. Less than 10%.
So it was a tiny amount. And by the way, Jason Chaffetz, that was the book. I think I got into this book 5 years ago. And it's called The Puppeteers, the people who control America.
Mm-hmm. Such a great description.
That's the description.
Absolutely.
And on the front, it does have nothing but a bunch of Democrat politicians, and they're all on strings. Now, again, these people do exist on the right as well, but that's the deep state. This is a possibility of ending this process that has been alive since probably the 1950s. When we talked about the rise of the military-industrial complex, that was also where the deep state as an intelligence apparatus started to grow and grow and grow. And so this entire deal, when it comes to Russian collusion and treason, this is your chance to eradicate or greatly hinder or hurt the deep state to where at least it won't hold the sort of power that it has in this country for the better part of 50 years.
And those bad actors still exist in the intel community to this day, those same ones that created and launched the Russia hoax, that covered up Hunter Biden's laptop, said, it's Russian disinformation, it's not real. Those same people are still employed inside of Washington, D.C., and inside the CIA, inside the FBI, inside ODNI. And that's why it was so important that Tulsi Gabbard came out and said, this is what we have. We're declassifying all the information that will show you what Hillary Clinton did to create the Russia hoax, what Barack Obama did, knowing that it wasn't real, what Brennan did, knowing it wasn't real. His notes from the meeting said, Hillary Clinton's campaign is creating something to stir up the election. They all knew it wasn't real. They literally took a president's daily brief back before they gave it to the president, inserted nonsense, and then handed it to him as if it were real.
And then James Comey, again, as part of this cabal, briefs the president on this information, tells him there's nothing here, we're not concerned about it, but then leaks it in order to then create the investigation, the FISA warrants in order to be spied on. Like, this is one big dirty game. And if you want to talk about unofficial acts versus official acts, presidential immunity, according to what, again, the Supreme Court wrote about this is exactly what falls under the area of unofficial acts. This was something that was done not in any sort of interest of America. This was done strictly to disparage and to hurt an incoming president.
And hurt the United States of America, because what you had voted for was going to be cut out at the knees. They weren't going to be able to accomplish the goals that you voted for them to get done.
And where did we start here? We started by talking about the deep state and the mentality. We know better. We run this. We're the ones in charge. You have to have that mentality to have an incoming president and say, no, we got this. In fact, we got to make sure we get rid of you as quickly as possible so things can go back to the normal.
When you think about those establishment Republicans and the uniparty, that's who they all operate underneath, because they all feel the exact same way. Trump was the outsider saying, I'm going to shake this up. I don't need any of y'all. Y'all didn't make me. Y'all can't break me. They've tried. And you know what? He's proven that he is exactly right. They couldn't break him. They tried to hang him with 34 felonies. They tried to arrest him. They gave him the mugshot. They did everything that they could possibly do. Unfortunately, the truth matters, and the truth continues to come out, and it's being laid out so everybody can see it, how filthy, dirty it all was.
And how filthy dirty it all was. Remember, when Donald Trump got into office, remember how part of the problem that he had, because Russian collusion was hanging over him. Did he do this? Is this what occurred? It was tough to initially get Republicans on the Hill to go along with him. Like, there had to be a lot of hand-wringing. Now, yeah, you're able to get your tax cuts. But any other legislation, it was difficult. And who were the people that were there? Paul Ryan, who hates his guts, who's running the House.
Ugh.
And then who's over in the Senate? It's Mike Pence. And by the way, hates Donald Trump's guts. Say whatever he wants to.
Yeah, there's no doubt. It's very clear.
But these were the people that looked at it as, we have this amateur. We have a person who should be amateur. He should be back on television. This is a reality TV star. Never mind the fact that he was a billionaire mogul who had built companies around the world and had built hotels around the world. This is an amateur at what we do. And he's a reality star guy, and we got to get rid of him.
Boy, prove them wrong.
Sure has. He's learned how to play this game.
That's right. There's nothing amateur about the adaptation of the first 4 years, then being out and planning for the next 4 years.
He didn't come back as an amateur again.
Mm-hmm. He is a seasoned veteran, but with the same ideas, the same outsider mentality.
Yeah, the same caring for the country.
But they hate. That's why they still, to this moment, are trying to sink this presidency and won't stop.
That's a person who has still believed. Nationalism has not changed from his messaging. And being a populist. I'm going to do what most of the country is looking to have us do. That has been just the basis. And I think that is dangerous when it comes to, because he's built coalitions. He's built a coalition. Think about who launched his nuclear weapon last Friday. It's Tulsi Gabbard, a former Democrat. Who's the person who keeps taking apart parts of the FDA? It's Robert F. Kennedy Jr. Like, this should be the threat. This should be the ideal portion of government. We have Democrats and Republicans together running this in the best interest of the country.
But it's not.
But that's the danger.
Yeah.
It's like, oh my God, what if they all unite?
Yeah.
What do we do then?
We continue to fight like hell trying to take him down, but they continue to fail. And that's the thing that I can't get over, is that with everything they've done and everything that Tulsi Gabbard has laid out, from Fonnie Willis to Letitia James to Judge Boasberg, you name them, they've all went after him with fervor. They couldn't wait to get him. They're like, this is our chance. Every time. Every new felony charge, we got him. And every time, the wheels are falling off the bus.
So what is the retribution?
See, that's going to be
because Letitia James, we've known this since what, May?
Yeah.
Early part of June. We've known that she committed mortgage fraud, allegedly.
Well,
but when you have this many homes that you're claiming are your primary residence,
and your father's your husband on one of them,
and she didn't live in any of them.
Yeah.
Like, it's different if I buy. Here's my primary residence, and I signed for it, lived in it for a couple of years, decided I'm going to rent it out, and I moved on to another house, and it's my primary residence. Lived in it for a couple of years, moved out, decided to rent it out. All right, that's not what she did. She never lived in these residences. There's no record of her ever being in these residences. And so the same thing with Adam Schiff. Suddenly claiming Maryland is your primary residence. Well, then you're not eligible to run for Congress out of California.
Uh-oh.
So until these are slam dunks. Trying to put Barack Obama in prison is like trying to throw a pass about 70 yards right on the money, in my opinion. These others are slam dunks. And if you're not getting the slam dunk, don't tell me about the 70-yard pass.
Yeah. And it would be more important, and we had a great caller earlier, Chris from Marietta, who talked about, I don't even care if they get Barack Obama. The ones I want all the people that helped him get it. And Los brought up something that I thought was really smart in the fact that he goes, okay, what if you get Obama and then you get the mugshot and him in handcuffs? Does it hurt you politically? Just the way the mugshot hurt the Democrat Party and the left when they got the mugshot of Donald Trump. And that's when Chris called and said, hey, I don't care if they get him. I don't care if they get Obama. Get everybody that was around him, everybody that was a part of it, and then you get a win-win.
If you want to have the fun, you can say, well, he's got presidential immunity. It's not going to apply in this case.
No, it doesn't.
But presidential immunity also doesn't apply to anyone else who was part of this.
Which is the most important. If you believe me, Barack Obama is going to be just fine. If he ends up in jail, which I don't expect, I do not expect, I'll be the first to say I don't expect it. But if you get everybody that was a part of it, they'll be frightened to do it again. If they get nothing, they'll be emboldened to do it again.
See, we're being taunted in this case. The goal of the left, and this is what's different about the communists versus us, we're looking at it still, at least I'm weighing the political implications. Do I want Barack Obama in prison for the rest of his life? Yeah, I do. And the only reason why is because the communists wanted Donald Trump in prison for the rest of his life. They wanted to take January 6 grandmothers and put them in prison for the rest of their life in the interest of being able to say, don't you dare ever consider questioning us about an election ever again. They are so power crazy that they are willing to go to the absolute limit. What I'm saying is that I don't know if we are, but we better get used to the idea of our opponents certainly are.
Yeah.
Like we're looking at it as like, well, we would never have Barack Obama in prison. Their goal was to put Donald Trump in prison for the rest of his life.
And there were no qualms about it. And there was not a soul that said, nah, we probably shouldn't do this.
We probably shouldn't.
Every one of them were on board.
To their detriment. That mugshot sits in the Oval Office. Like they were so overzealous with this that you created the next president with it. I don't know what putting Barack Obama into prison, considering he doesn't have any clout, in my opinion. Now that Biden's gone, I don't think he has any clout left in the Democrat Party. In fact, I think people are running from him based on what the results were for him pushing for Kamala Harris the way he did.
Certainly it feels that way and appears that way, but it sure would be
just let him kind of die.
Gratifying to see him.
I would like him in prison, but still, if you let him die on the vine, he dies on the vine.
Burning out. What is it? Instead of fading away, he just fades away.
Think about how frustrating it'll be long term. J.D. Vance is the betting favorite to win 2028. And so you're talking about 4 years of Donald Trump, followed by another 4 years of Vance, maybe with another 4 years of J.D. Vance. Do you realize how much that leaves the Obama presidency in the dust? You've destroyed everything about it, and you've made sure we will never go back to this mentality.
The dustbin of history. When we come back on Extra 1063, Tom Holman said he is going to bust down the dams and let the water flow in some particular cities. Next on Extra 1063, Tug and Los until 10.
The latest sports news, powered by 680 The Fan, and driven to extra listeners by RBM of Atlanta in Sandy Springs, Atlanta's Mercedes-Benz connection since 1964.
Good morning. Here are your sports headlines for Tuesday, July 22nd. The Atlanta Braves took the opening game of their 3-game series against the San Francisco Giants at Truist Park. 9-5, the final. Game 2 is set for tonight. It'll be Davis Daniel set to make the start for the Braves. Landon Raup on the mound for the Giants. First pitch is set for 7:15. You can hear that game live on our sister station's brand new app, 680 The Fan. From the NFL, the season is nearly here. The Falcons will open training camp this week from Flowery Branch with the first on-field workouts beginning on Thursday. With your sports headlines, I'm Carlos Medina.
Doesn't matter what you need. Is it a maintenance agreement to maintain the HVAC system you have? Is it a repair to the system you have? Or is it a brand new carrier system? Well, it's up to you. Depends on what your need is. All you have to do is reach out to Central Heating and Air Conditioning. They are your Atlanta carrier experts. Turn to the experts at Central Heating and Air Conditioning so you can get quality maintenance, quality repairs, or a quality new carrier system. Whatever you need, they got for you. And right now, when you do a maintenance agreement, $10 of every agreement through the end of July for your home or your business goes to Skyland Trail, providing expert and evidence-based help for people facing mental health challenges, finding a path to recovery. Central Heating and Air Conditioning is proud to support this mission, one of the few second-generation locally owned HVAC companies in Atlanta. Central knows what it means to give back. So get that maintenance agreement, get the repair, get a new carrier system, carrier products, carrier warranty, carrier peace of mind at Central Heating and Air Conditioning, your Atlanta carrier experts. Turn to the experts at 770-GET-HEAT or centralheat.com.
Command the road this summer in a new 2025 GMC Sierra Crew Cab 4-wheel drive elevation or SLT, powered by the legendary 5.3-liter V8.
Right now at Jim Ellis Buick GMC, save $10,950 off MSRP, plus take an extra $2,500 off with a qualifying trade for an impressive total savings of $13,450. With more than 80 Sierras in stock at Jim Ellis Buick GMC, you can drive yours home today. Visit JimEllisBuickGMC.com to start or complete your entire purchase online.
Or shop in person on Peachtree Boulevard just inside the perimeter or on Highway 20 in Beaufort. Jim Ellis Buick GMC, we are professional grade. Offer applies to 2025 GMC Sierra Crew Cab and 4-wheel drive elevation and SLT models with 5.3 V8. Example stock number GS4511, MSRP $67,574. After $10,950 in Jim Ellis discounts, sale price is $56,624. Excludes TABT and state fees. $2,500 trade-in assistance applies to 2011 or newer trade-ins. Expires 7/31/25.
My name is Patrick, and I'm the Military Outreach Manager at the Warrior Alliance. I served in the U.S. Army as an airborne ranger and deployed to several combat zones in support of the global war on terror. Veterans bring excellence through our work ethic, skills, and civic duty. However, transitioning to civilian life can be difficult, as we all share a loss of purpose when leaving the military. Returning veterans have earned and deserve our support so they can thrive on their journey home. The Warrior Alliance understands the challenge and is helping warriors navigate to success after service. Join us in changing thousands of lives for the better. Donate today at thewarrioralliance.org.
Good morning, Mike. What you eating?
You gotta try this.
I can hear you crunching from the next cube over.
This is amazing. I just discovered it this weekend at Lidl. It's Greek Goddess Gourmet Granola. They were sampling it, so I tried it. Then I bought 6 bags.
Wow. Is it cereal?
Can be. Or an amazing trail mix. It's great for a meal or a snack.
What's in it?
Well, they have 2 flavors, maple oat and harvest nut, which is my favorite. It's made with whole grain oats, almonds, pecans, raisins, coconut, and the sweet taste of pure maple syrup. Maple oat is a simpler take on their delicious granola. It's got wholesome oats, plump raisins, coconut, and maple syrup.
That sounds healthy and delicious.
That's why I can't stop crunching, Susan.
Greek Goddess Gourmet Granola. It's a breakfast or on-the-go snack you can feel good about. It's dairy-free and gluten-free, and with only 2 grams of added sugar per serving, even your belly will love it. Pick some up at Lidl, Amazon, GreekGoddessGourmet.com, or at specialty stores near you.
Hello, I'm Joe Cordell, founder of Cordell & Cordell.
Divorce is complicated, especially when your small business or professional practice is involved. At Cordell & Cordell, we understand that these assets raise unique valuation and allocation issues. For 35 years, we've helped doctors, lawyers, and small business owners navigate divorce with confidence. Call us at Cordell & Cordell. Let me tell you, I understand on a personal level, your business is much more than a job. It's your legacy.
404-793-0000. 1 Glen Lake Parkway Northeast, Atlanta.
This is Window Nation, your source for affordable replacement windows at the highest quality. So if your old windows have you boiling in the summer and freezing in the winter, you need the pros at Window Nation with installation precision and experience that are second to none. Their custom windows are guaranteed to be a perfect fit, and they're backed by the best warranty in the industry. Go to getwindownation.com or call 866-90NATION for your free estimate. And for a limited time, get 50% off all window styles, plus pay no interest for 5 years.
The legend Neil Bortz is only on Extra 106.3. Hey, it's the Kimmer. How's it going? Here's what you missed from the Talkmaster.
I'm a proponent of the death penalty. You knew that. But I heard something that I would consider as a viable alternative. How about a life sentence where the murderer is never allowed to contact his family again? After all, the victim can't contact their family.
Catch Neil's commentary every day on Extra 106.3 or listen anytime on the Extra 106.3 app.
Tug and Los until 10. Download the app so you can listen live and on demand. It's so convenient for you. And then, let's face it, today, if it's not convenient, you're not going to do it. If it's not convenient, you're not going to do it. You know that's true. I know it's true. That's the reason we have the Extra 106.3 app.
And then you get all the bonus prizes that we have yet to determine. But
when we do,
you will be the beneficiary.
The best kind of a surprise.
That's right.
Oh, not sure what it could be.
Get a can.
Possibilities are endless.
Empty can of Zyn.
Or a full can of Zyn. Who knows?
Signed by the show.
That's right. We're going to
they sent me an empty can of Zyn with their signatures on it.
But they also email me some of their Zyn points. So
actually, what we'll do is we'll make our own stick figure drawing of a woman. We'll send that to you as an ode to the Wall Street Journal.
That's right.
Draw it right there on the can.
That's right.
And our names strategically placed like that. Tom Holman, he's a guy that I don't know that he and I would be like dear friends. Like
y'all would be the best of friends.
But maybe we would. Maybe. But maybe we wouldn't. I don't know.
I highly encourage you, if you want to get a little bit more insight into him, go to the Sean Ryan podcast from like 3 months ago and listen to him tell his story of working from the very lowest level.
Oh, yeah.
All the way to obviously his status within ICE and the stuff that he went through and the stuff that he experienced. And I think you'll have I would say this, if you don't already have respect for him.
Which I do.
You'll then have a liking for him as well.
See, that's what I'm looking for. But I feel like it's obvious that I'm able to separate the guy I want to hang out with versus the guy that I know is right for the job.
I just know that when you hear him talk about what they're planning to do, the left is consistently going to paint it from an area of cruelty.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
When you hear him talking about the stuff that he has seen in border enforcement.
Dude.
There's a story that is still chilling in my mind where, and this was, because this happens, like we had the truckload of people in San Antonio where it was like 18 of them just baked to death. Well, he had a very similar scenario in, I think it was San Diego. And at one point, the people in the truck are trying to get this little boy, they're trying to like push him through a hole to see if like maybe they can get help. Then it turns into, well, let's tear him apart so that we can stick his body parts out so that maybe we can get help that way. And his dad defending him, and that's how they found them all dead.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, this is the cruelty of what happens when we just leave the border wide open and we allow for this stuff.
That's the story that never gets told, or the stories that never get told.
And that's the reason why he goes the way he goes, how hard he goes.
Oh, yeah. I have nothing but the utmost respect for him, and that's the thing. Even if he's not the guy that I would spend every weekend with having cold beers, And I'm just setting the scenario. Like, he may not be your best friend. He may not be your cup of tea, but he's exactly what we need. That's the story I'm trying to present.
So this is Tom Homan yesterday making the announcement that, remember, now ICE, we're talking about having, what is it now, $40 billion?
Yeah.
That they're going to be able to work with rather than like $4 billion?
Yeah, the old BBB.
So now, here's what their plan is with their expansion of their operations.
I'll say it again, sanctuary cities are sanctuaries for criminals. And I'm going to work very hard with Secretary Noem to keep President Trump's promise and his commitment several weeks ago that sanctuary cities are now our priority. We're going to flood the zone. You don't want to let us into jail to arrest a bad guy in the safety and security of a jail. You want to release him into the street, which makes it unsafe for the community, makes it unsafe for the officer, makes it unsafe for the alien. Because anything can happen on a street arrest. So what we're going to do, we'll have more agents in New York City to look for that bad guy. So sanctuary cities get exactly what they don't want, more agents in the community and more agents in the work site. If we can't arrest a bad guy in the safety and security of the county jail, then we'll arrest him in the community, and we'll arrest him in the jail. And when we arrest him in the community, if he's with others that are in the country illegally, they're coming too.
Think about how you have activist judges, and we saw this with that one who worked on making sure to create a distraction so they could get that guy out of the courthouse.
Wisconsin, I believe, is where that was.
They are intentionally making sure to turn these people loose back into the community so that ICE cannot make the detainment within a county jail. That's what he's talking about. So you might have someone who's here illegally. Maybe they committed murder in their home country, but hey, they just went to county jail on a car theft charge. Well, they're supposed to be out of here. Well, the activist judges are turning them loose as quickly as possible so ICE can't get to them. Why? Because they believe they're supposed to be here.
Right. They believe you have the same rights.
So that's Homan basically telling you, listen, we can do this safely, but y'all won't cooperate. So instead, we're just going to flood the zone. And I love it. I love hearing that go. You're going to be activists, huh? Okay. Well, watch what we do now.
Here's how we fix that problem.
And we're intentionally going to go to sanctuary cities. Mm-hmm. And we'll be at your Home Depots. And we'll be at the places you don't want us to be at.
I mean, you probably saw it over the weekend. Somebody that just dumped off an illegal alien that had been shot. They just dumped him off the hospital and on the back of a scooter, just dumped him.
Y'all deal with it.
Have at it. He's been shot up. Here he is. And the crazy thing is, you're seeing this all around the world. That's the thing that I can't miss. It's not just the United States. It's not just Donald Trump. It's happening around the world. Greece just passed new laws. If you're an illegal immigrant, you go straight to prison for 5 years, or you're given a ticket home. It's up to you. I saw a dude talking about Alligator Alcatraz. You know how they call it? Oh, it's a concentration camp. It's the worst place. It's the worst. You can't believe we're putting people there.
You don't know how hot it is there.
And they have big snakes, alligators and bugs and things. But none of them have to stay there. His point was so well taken for me, much like the law from Greece. You don't have to stay.
No, you can self-deport.
Sign up.
Or you can just say, I'll take that plane ticket out of here.
That's what I'm saying. Sign up.
There's an app for that.
For sure. Or you can just say, hey, send me home. They're going to buy your plane ticket and give you $1,000, at least $1,000, just to give you some walking around money when you get home. Dude, you don't have to do...
You don't have to go hang out and wait for your trial date, which can be indefinite now.
You don't have to do any of that. You don't have to be involved in getting swept up in Home Depot parking lots when you didn't do anything. And then the cherry on top is you have the ability to apply, if you have a clean record, to apply to come back on a work visa.
Alligator Alcatraz, they're calling it a concentration camp. It's a processing center. That's exactly right. That's all it is. It's how long do you want to stay here? Because we can send you out tomorrow. And most of them are going to take, send me out tomorrow.
Because why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you? It's the most humane way of doing it. When we continue on Extra 106.3, you live through history, and it will not be looked on fondly. That history will not be looked on fondly in the future. Next on Extra 106.3.
Neil Bortz is only live on Extra 106.3, bringing you daily commentary on the biggest topics of the day. Catch him throughout the day or hear his latest on the Extra 106.3 app.
There are nut jobs on the road. Who knows where they learn to drive? If one of them hits you, don't take care of it on your own. Call my friend David Van Sant, 855-GA-INJURY. Van Sant Law, one of Georgia's top-rated personal injury lawyers and car accident firms. Time is of the essence. Don't waste any. The longer you wait to get the right lawyer, the longer it takes to get the compensation you deserve. Call Van Sant Law today. The number is 855-GA-INJURY. VanSantLaw.com.
By texting 26022, you agree to receive recurring automated marketing messages from Tax Lien Code. Message and data rates may apply. Terms apply. Available at taxliencode.com.
Imagine waking up and not needing to rush. No commute, no emails, no boss. Just coffee, sunlight, and the freedom to choose. That's the power of tax lien investing. It's been around for over 200 years, used by banks, hedge funds, and the wealthy. And now, finally, it's being taught right here in Atlanta. It's secure, predictable, passive income backed by real estate and mandated by state law. And it pays you, sometimes 15 to 35% returns. You don't need to own property. You just need to see how it works and how to do it right. We've taught over 100,000 students, and we'll teach you for free at a live masterclass right here in Atlanta. If you're ready to start building real wealth through tax lien investing, this is it. Text EARN to 26022 to reserve your free seat. That's EARN to 26022. But hurry, seats are limited. Text EARN to 26022.
Hey, it's Front Office Lowe's here to tell you about a new company that is changing the way people buy their next pre-owned car or truck. At The Honest Car Guy, they offer a completely transparent way to purchase a vehicle. You pay what he pays, plus a small honest fee. You can choose any make or model. He will search the country for the best deal out there. He'll handle the paperwork, your trade-in, shipping, and even give you the bill of sale. Friends, I've done the research, and this is a buying process that you can trust. Call 844-SHOW-ME-1 or visit online at honestcarguy.com.
Hey, Atlanta's Mark from the Safe House. I have a question for you. Am I the only person pissed off with the mainstream fake news, liberal judges,
and whiny liberal politicians
who don't realize why Donald Trump is president, and fake safes? And you may wonder, why fake safes? Well, a fake safe is like Joe Biden, cheap and ineffective. A real safe from Atlanta Safe House is like Donald Trump, tough, effective, and provides peace of mind when you need it the most. So drop by Atlanta Safe House and check out the largest selection of safes in the Southeast and see what a real safe looks like. So go to AtlantaSafeHouse.com.
You're great at protecting your own personal information. You probably even use things like two-factor authentication, strong passwords, VPN. But as much as you try to be in control of how your information is protected, there's lots of places that also have it. That's why LifeLock monitors millions of data points every single second for identity threats. If your identity is stolen, a LifeLock specialist is going to help solve the identity theft issues, guaranteed, or your money back. Save up to 40% off your first year with a promo code BECK at LifeLock.com. Terms apply.
WFOM and W292EV Marietta, a Dickey broadcasting station. This hour is presented by Van Sant Law, VanSantLaw.com.
Iran's nuclear program is being rebuilt. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News.
We cannot give up our enrichment.
Because Iran's foreign minister tells Fox's Brett Baer.
It is an achievement of our own scientists. And now, more than that, it is a question of national pride.
And Abbas Arachi also admitted to Fox the U.S. airstrikes a month ago, joining Israel attacking a nuclear program feared to be building weapons, caused damages that are very severe. They are destroyed, he said. President Trump was watching and then posted on Truth Social, of course they are, and we will do it again if necessary. Now, today, the president will host the leader of the Philippines for talks at the White House, discussing China and regional security and trade ahead of a looming 20% U.S. tariff on Filipino goods. Now, last week, the president gave Russia 50 days to work out a ceasefire with Ukraine, or he'd impose big tariffs on Russia's trading partners. Well, now a new round of talks is being planned.
These negotiations will take place in the same city where the last round failed to deliver a ceasefire, Istanbul, Turkey. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky says they will begin on Wednesday. However, a Russian news agency, quoting a source, reported the talks would happen on Thursday and Friday. There's no official confirmation from the Kremlin.
Fox's Jonathan Savage, 33 months in prison is the sentence an ex-cop in Louisville, Kentucky got 5 years after a much-protested raid that left Breonna Taylor dead. Brett Hankinson was convicted of violating her civil rights for his role in the raid.
Hankinson did fire shots, but none were directly responsible for her death. As protesters called the sentence too short, Breonna Taylor's mother, Tamika Palmer, reacted.
I'm grateful for the judge for giving some time because we could have walked away with nothing according to what they recommended.
The U.S. Justice Department suggested only a single day in jail based on time served.
Well, that's Fox's Gernal Scott. The judge said that was inappropriate. America's listening to Fox News.
Living with everyday pain is like having a voice that always says, no, you can't do that. No, you better sit this one out. It's no way to live. So if pain is affecting you, see how Relief Factor can help get you back to life on your terms. One where you say yes a lot more. Relief Factor is a daily supplement that fights pain naturally. Developed by doctors, Relief Factor's unique formula of natural ingredients does not just mask pain, it helps reduce or eliminate it for good. Whether it's your back, neck, joints, or muscles, Relief Factor can help you, as it has for so many others. So call 1-800-4RELIEF and give Relief Factor's 3-week quick start a try. It's only $19.95, less than $1 a day to get your life back. Just go to ReliefFactor.com or call 1-800-4RELIEF. That's 1-800-4RELIEF. And see how you can say yes to more of everything you want.
Get the Extra 106.3 app.
Yeah, I got your app. I'm so glad Conservative Talk is back on the air.
Tug and Los until 10 on Extra 106.3. Thank you for being here. 404-741-1230 at Extra 106.3 across the social media platforms. I still want your calls, and we had a few already that I know Dre fielded. What do we do? What's the best way if we're able to get convictions? If you're able, we're kind of living in hypothetical in a little bit, but there's a reason. Is it better to arrest Barack Obama if it came to that? Arrest him for the crimes that we have now. It looks clear that he committed. I know it's alleged, but what we believe, what the paperwork says that he committed and was a part of.
The only argument, and I saw this was pointing out, I think it was like Victor Davis Hanson, a really sharp guy. I think that the only argument now gets down to, it's the legalese. Like we asked, well, why did Brennan have his handwritten notes? It's so he could consider it his get out of jail free card if this ever went south or this ever got known. And so I think the argument becomes, did Brennan and Clapper, are they able to say, well, Barack Obama asked us to do this and we were misled? Or does Barack Obama say, well, I was misled by these two?
Yeah, well, because
it becomes a pointing match at this point.
Absolutely.
And who's going to roll over on who? The bigger question, we opened up the show with it. We talked about how the smart thing, in my opinion, the political calculus is you go after the deep state, you go after these people, there are arrests, there are detainments, and then eventually there's hopefully convictions for what they did, which was treasonous in nature. From a conspiratorial standpoint, it was treasonous in nature. And do you leave Barack Obama alone? But in the best interest of the country, you get them all.
That's right. So that's
politics be damned in that case. You get them all.
404-741-1230. Love to know what you think. Arrest Obama or go after just the deep state and let him alone because you don't want to politically give them the mugshot that they handed to us with the mugshot of Donald Trump.
They're dead in the water right now with a 19% favorability rating. As far as the Democrat Party exists, it's largely dead. It's trying to figure its way. You would be putting at least maybe some fervor back into who they are.
Little wind in the sails.
Because something did occur. We talked about the importance of, and it was dirty, but the lawfare. When you look at the Republican primary numbers from nearly 2 years ago, almost 3 years ago, you had Ron DeSantis and Donald Trump that were basically neck and neck. They were even. The discussion was who was going to be the better option. Is it time to leave Trump alone? And let's go with Ron DeSantis. Ron DeSantis was getting stuff done in Florida, continues to get stuff done.
And if you think about it, at that time, Fox News had abandoned Donald Trump. They wouldn't even mention his name.
And once the lawfare started, that kick-started everything for Donald Trump. The numbers exploded. The base, and that's the most important part of this, the base, those voters who had voted for him before, jumped right back in. And they weren't just in by a little bit. The more lawfare that was executed against him, you raid his house, you try and take away a bunch of his money, you invent crimes that he committed. All of these things ended up being what put rocket fuel back into the whole MAGA train.
And puts us back where we are right now, where Fox News is back on the Trump train. They can't wait to talk about him.
So what do we do with a dead Democrat Party?
Do you help revive it?
Do you help revive it?
Let it die.
But in the interest of the country, getting rid of all of these communists, you have to let everyone know that you can never do anything like this ever again. Where you actually, the basis, when they would talk about, well, you had a special counsel that was assigned in Robert Mueller to look into Russian collusion. And remember, every day on the news, he's going to find it. He's going to find it. He knew pretty quickly on there wasn't any.
He knew from the get-go. He knew before it was even launched that it wasn't there.
And I dare say, if the man actually told you what the origins of it were, you would have been shocked to go, wait a minute, that was all dreamed up out of the Oval Office under Barack Obama?
Knowing that Hillary Clinton had already started the process, Barack Obama's like, this is genius. Let's do it. We're going to cut his head off. We're going to get rid of Donald Trump.
To the point where you had impeachments based on this stuff.
Fake impeachments. And then Donald Trump, we played the audio yesterday when he was on 60 Minutes, and he was like, they're spying on my campaign.
Everything that occurred during his first 4 years was really about, can we keep him from finding out the truth of what this administration's been up to in this country for the last 8 years, and then what was continuing to happen for his 4 years. How do we keep him from finding out?
And now we all know he knew the entire time. That's the reason they raided Mar-a-Lago. You probably already know that they thought that those Crossfire Hurricane files were in that group, that batch of files that Donald Trump had. So they were so concerned about it that they raided the man's house in Mar-a-Lago and placed 8.5 by 11, printed out, top secret. It's not a top secret sticker. I know what a top secret sticker looks like. Just having seen them for my service in the military, that's not what they looked like.
I wrote about how we have just lived through the most corrupt government in the history of the United States. I used to joke around about what was going on with the money that was going back and forth from Ukraine. I was like, man, this makes Teapot Dome scandal look like nothing. And that was like, oh, Teapot Dome scandal. Watergate. Okay, dude, these are all tiny things in comparison. And I started kind of listing them out. Lawfare, COVID mandates, using the FBI to look into parents that showed up at PTA meetings, protecting Hunter Biden and the laptop, the made-for-TV January 6th committee, sending ungodly amounts of money to Ukraine that never made it there, USAID, the attempted assassination twice of Donald Trump, the wide-ass open border, and then to cap it all off on the way out, the auto pen. These people went to Mar-a-Lago to go get the files that they thought were going to burn them down. That's why they raided his house. They were like, he's got the proof. We're in trouble.
We got to go get it.
We got to go raid his house under long gun.
And they did. And as we discussed yesterday, that's why I feel like that one thing is the reason that Donald Trump will not let this go. They went into the man's house. They went into his safe space. They went into his sanctuary. Think about somebody coming into your house. I laid it down yesterday when our house was broken into. We even think we know who did it. And it still left such an uneasy feeling when an officer shows up to your house. This was one with some blue lights. Can you imagine the line of black SUVs all with blaring blue lights?
And if I may, for the crazies out there, yes, the same Mar-a-Lago that Epstein was banned from.
That's right, yeah. TDS just went off on some few folks.
The federal government, the FBI, raided Mar-a-Lago looking for files that they knew would implicate them in what they were involved in. That's why they went there. That was the plan. It was all about Crossfire Hurricane. And now that it's all laid out here, notice, Donald Trump could have done this minute one he got into office. He was like, no, we've got some other objectives. And then as soon as he finished off that big, beautiful bill, the BBB, look what they did. It's like, now's the time.
Dropping the boom, I think that's what they call them.
They've been waiting.
Yeah.
They've been sitting there afraid. They knew it was coming.
Yeah, they knew what they were
doing. Like he knows.
Yeah.
It's almost like like, okay, when's When's that notice coming to my house?
That's right. I ain't paid my power bill. When's the notice coming?
When's the notice coming?
I ain't paid my phone bill. When's the notice
It's coming.
It's coming. It's coming.
But yes, the most corrupt government in U.S. history. I don't think you can come close to having a close second.
Nothing.
Not
like
with
it.
what has gone on here.
You can argue if you'd like America's a Christian nation or not. Certainly, the Constitution is based on all Christian values. I don't know your opinion of veterans. Probably, if you're listening to this show, pretty high. But that same corrupt government that Los just laid out, they said it was Christians and veterans.
Yes.
That was the target. White male, Christians, veterans, people that flew the flag. Those are the people that they said were the most damaging, that white supremacy was the most...
they were the biggest domestic issue.
That's how filthy corrupt this government was.
There's no leadership.
If you want to target me, I guess, white dude, blue eyes, in the Navy.
Well, it's like we joke around about Kimmer. Kimmer's the most dangerous man in America. They were pointing at you and Kimmer.
Veteran Christian.
Yeah.
White dude. Dude, I am... Joe Biden and Barack Obama, I am the scourge of the earth.
They made you guys out to be public enemy number one, the most dangerous thing. The people that serve this country were the most volatile towards what would be that administration.
Because, and here's the reason, because we love the country and they hate it. We were the antithesis of them. So we had to be taken out first. We had to be targeted first. And they made sure, with all the corruption that you laid out that they did, they went after those parents at school boards. They went after people that went to church during COVID. They did everything they could. They labeled veterans as white supremacists or threats to democracy.
Like I say, lawfare. Have you ever taken a step back and just said, all right, so in Florida, they were going after him for having documents that legally he was allowed to, that were for Crossfire Hurricane, that were in relation to crimes that were committed by Barack Obama and the administration. That's why they went out after him.
Yeah.
In New York, they went after him for overestimating the value of Mar-a-Lago in reference to getting loans that he paid back entirely.
But Los, think about what actually went down, right? That's exactly what they went after him for. And yet, every time it blew up in their face, Joe Biden had documents that he wasn't supposed to have because he wasn't president. He was VP. And then Letitia James actually did what they tried to accuse him of doing.
But it's what I'm just pointing out, because now it's just the catch-all. Lawfare. All right, in the state of Georgia, you actually had a DA who campaigned against getting Donald Trump, who actually got the mugshot. And it was because of what? Because he ran a criminal enterprise?
The RICO charges. It was a conspiracy.
I mean, when I tell you the most... And by the way, and that was another thing, too, with Fonnie Willis. Well, she was never in conjunction with the White House. She went there twice. We found the information.
And so did her boo.
Yes, and so did her boo. Yes, that she couldn't lay a... Wow, I can't believe that all fell apart because she couldn't stop sleeping with a guy and was paying him for it.
Dude,
I mean,
it's undefeated.
Like, again, it'd be one thing if you were telling me about some sort of criminality. And, well, so-and-so did this. I was like, yes, you've had, like, scandals throughout American history. I can point out Fast and Furious from Obama. The reason why it is, it's a scandal is because of what they were doing, but it was an operation in order to track how guns move between the countries. Did it get an American killed? Yeah. But it's not on the level of you went outside the rule of law. You used government, not only during the end of the Obama administration, but through the Biden administration to go after political opponents. Like, that doesn't happen this way.
And the justice is so poetic in the fact that it is all catching up to him, just like it did, as I mentioned. They blame Trump for mortgage fraud. That's actually what Letitia was
James,
doing.
Yeah.
It's so poetic how everything is coming together. It's almost like Truth Matters or something.
Oh, I don't think these people are ultra creative. I think what happens is if they're disciples of Saul Alinsky, And Saul Alinsky, one of the points they preach is blame your opponent for what you're doing yourself.
Books called Rules for Radicals.
So it just turns into, well, I know what I've done. Let's blame Trump for it.
Yeah.
Like, how do the people that continue, how did Letitia James, if there's one thing that you would try not to blame on Donald Trump would be mortgage fraud. Knowing you yourself have committed mortgage fraud.
As you sit there writing up the paperwork going, damn, I've already done this. I've actually done this.
It's almost like Jeffrey Dahmer shows up to report a murder.
Yeah.
Hey, my neighbor,
It's terrible.
This person is out there.
He's killing people, and I think he may be eating them. I don't know.
I'm just saying, I'm smelling stuff over there. You might want to check into that person.
Smells awful. Dude, that's corruption at the highest levels. As you said, there's never been.
Find me a more corrupt U.S. administration in history. And we've had some that have been teetering on that brink of like, wow, that's pretty bad.
Nothing like
this. Nothing in history. Because no one has ever gone after a former president to put him in prison for the rest of his life.
But then when you find out it's all to cover their own tracks is the only reason they're doing it.
To cover their own tracks for what they were involved in.
That's what they decided to do.
Which is why I say for the good of the country, lock them all up.
And that's why they're at a 19% approval rate. But that 19%, man, they are loyal. That's the loyalist 19%. Because can you imagine looking at this and going, yeah, it's nothing to see here.
Well, actually, they know. Like, they all know.
I'm not sure they do.
They just believe it's justified.
Now okay. I can get on board with that. But there's because my Aunt Peg don't know. I guarantee you, dude. She does not know.
Aunt Peg would go, well, whatever they did to do this to him, it was for the good of the country.
When she found out, then she would pivot to that. But right now, she has no idea because she's not learned it. The View's not told her.
No,
MSNBC's
of course not. No, they're not going to cover any of this.
That's what I'm saying. She doesn't know. When she does find out, then she'll pivot to, that's probably what they needed to do.
The communists have that hive mindset. They wait for the download. This is how big this is. That they won't have any of their viewers learn about it.
No, we can't.
They can't possibly have them learn about this. Because if you do a little bit of digging, a little bit of research, even that story time that I did, when I posted what the finding was from SCOTUS, the amount of people are like, what the hell is that from?
Right.
Yeah. I was like, that's how presidential immunity works.
Right. Now you get to see this thing play out. Will Obama be able to use it? Doesn't seem likely. Just on the surface. I'm not a lawyer, but on the surface, sure doesn't look like it. Neil Bortz, on the other hand, is a lawyer. Maybe he'll have some insight when we talk to him next on Extra 106.3. The Talk Master, the only place you get him is here.
Get the latest breaking news and insight from the biggest conservative voices in the South when you follow Extra 106.3 across all your social media platforms. Find us on Facebook, X, Instagram, and YouTube at Extra 106.3.
Good morning, it's Los. I'm so glad you're here. Let's talk about Howard Brothers and X-Mark, because when it comes to cutting grass, nothing cuts like an X-Mark from Howard Brothers. Okay, that's where you go pick this thing up. Built for speed, engineered for precision, trusted by the ones who mow for a living. That's how you always know. Take a look. You got any people that do any of this sort of work in your neighborhood or around you? Take a look at the equipment they're rolling around with. You're going to see some X-Mark out there because of the lawn work and the work it does. Whether you've got an acre or maybe you've got an entire fleet, X-Mark mowers deliver the flawless cut and reliability you need every single time. So stop dreaming about that perfect lawn. Make it happen with X-Mark from Howard Brothers, where the pros go and homeowners level up.
Advisory services offered through Master Plan Retirement Consultants, Inc., a registered investment advisory in the state of Georgia. Insurance, tax, and commodity services offered through Fricks & Associates, Inc., DBA Master Plan Retirement Consultants. The aforementioned are affiliated companies.
Retirement means different things to different people. Some folks want to travel the world. Some folks want to spend more time with grandkids. For me, I'm looking forward to spending more time with my guitar. Whether extravagant and robust or simple and cozy, every retirement needs a plan. You wouldn't take a trip without directions. You have to know where you are before you know where you're going. Master Plan Retirement Consultants have helped many like you plan for their own retirement. Not only does Master Plan help you create the roadmap, they join you on the journey. So whether you want to travel the world, become a pickleball champ, or just looking for a good porch, a sturdy rocking chair, and an acoustic guitar, remember to plan well because the destination is worth it. Visit masterplanretired.com to schedule your complimentary consultation today.
Join A Second Chance Bail Bond CEO Daniel Madelon and host Tug Cowart for the weekly radio show Back Your Blue. They will highlight special initiatives, criminal justice programs, and community events aimed at keeping our communities safer. Tune in Saturdays at 10 a.m. to learn some good news about and from the law enforcement and justice communities. This week's guest is Ken Ashley, chairman of the Fulton County Sheriff's Foundation. Tune in on Saturdays or catch up on all past episodes wherever you get your podcasts or at the podcastpark.com.
No one plans on going to jail, but when it happens, it's important that you know who to call. Call A Second Chance Bail Bonds, where we believe everyone deserves a second chance. Whether your loved one's been arrested in Cherokee, Clayton, or any of the other metro Atlanta counties in between, A Second Chance Bail Bonds works fast to help expedite release within hours. A Second Chance. It's better to know us and not need us than need us and not know us. Call A Second Chance 24/7 at 404-BAIL-OUT or online at atlbail.com.
At Jim Ellis Ford Sandy Springs, you can take advantage of employee pricing on select new Ford models. That means you pay what Ford employees pay. No markup, no hidden fees. It's all part of Ford's bold campaign, From America, for America. While other dealerships may raise prices due to auto tariffs, Jim Ellis Ford Sandy Springs is stepping up, giving you the power to save big on American-made vehicles. Choose from bestsellers like the F-150, the rugged Bronco, the capable Explorer, and now when you purchase or lease a new Ford EV like the all-electric Mustang Mach-E, you'll receive a complimentary home charger and standard installation, making your switch to electric even easier. At Jim Ellis Ford Sandy Springs, you're not just getting a great deal, you're getting award-winning service from a locally family-owned dealership.
They're just 4 miles north of 285 on Roswell Road. Visit them online at jimellisford.com.
Jim Ellis Ford Sandy Springs, where you pay what we pay, where you can always expect the best.
Make going back to school a little more fun as the Brewers and Marlins come to Truist Park August 4th through the 10th. The week includes the Ronaldo Lopez bobblehead giveaway presented by Coca-Cola on August 4th, followed by the Ronald Acuna Jr. Funko Pop giveaway presented by Xfinity on August 6th. And new this year is the Batman Ticket Package, which includes a Batman bobblehead and a game ticket. Visit Braves.com/promos to purchase your tickets as low as $10. Atlanta Braves baseball. We are Braves country.
The stories that matter to you. These are your Georgia headlines.
Here are your Georgia headlines for Tuesday, July 22nd. The Cobb County Fire Department was honored Monday as the first department in the country to use a new treatment designed to stop bleeding in seconds. Trauma Gel, a plant-based gel with FDA approval, is being tested in 6 agencies across the country. Firefighters say it's a major game changer in saving lives and have used the new treatment 17 times so far, including on one of their own. Georgia Tech will build one of the world's most powerful supercomputers. The National Science Foundation has awarded the university with $20 million to build the supercomputer known as Nexus. It will use AI to develop faster breakthroughs in medicine, robotics, and aerospace. Nexus is expected to be ready next spring. And a special delivery in Douglas County as a woman gave birth in the backseat of her vehicle on the way to the hospital. A Douglas County deputy provided a police escort and assisted the family after the father flagged him down. Baby girl is happy and healthy and back home with family. Today's weather partly cloudy with highs in the low 90s. We'll have some scattered storms overnight. With your headlines, I'm Jerry Payne for Extra 106.3.
Oh, it's a good day. I know it's a good day when I hear Huey Lewis. Because I know that means Neil Bortz is on the line. Neil, what is up? How are you?
I'm recovering.
Oh no. What are we recovering from?
You got cramps?
Family last week.
Oh yeah, did they throw you all off? Because I mean, you said you had to make some adjustments for everybody who was staying with you.
Oh my God!
So it was cramped.
I love them to death, but no.
What? I love them, but like, is it just?
No, I mean, Donna and I are used to life with Donna and I.
Yeah, you're like creatures of habit. You know what you like to do.
Yes. And it's great to have them visit. It really was, especially since the
trying
last.
to convince.
No, well, the last time we saw them was at Christmas, and I was extremely ill.
Oh no.
And so ill that when we went to their house, I fell asleep in the big sloppy chair and never woke up until it was time to go. So this time I was not ill, and we had a good time. Went on a sunset dinner cruise. And
nice.
They got to go on an airboat tour that I did not want to do. And it was great. It was great. But now it's back to Donna and me.
So it's back to good. We're back to good.
Yes, which is the way I plan on ending all of this.
Sure.
Okay, about Barack Obama. No, they're not going to arrest him. You're never going to see a perp walk. You're never going to see a mugshot.
But
is he complicit? Oh, hell yes, he's complicit. But there are, I think, legitimate concerns of what would happen in American society and American culture if all of a sudden we're presented with pictures of him being marched out of the wherever in handcuffs.
And that has been my point, Neil. It's that while this might be for the best thing for the country politically, it might not be a great deal. But then there's also the idea that if you were to take this icon, this saint of the left, and do this to him, what does that do to portions of the country that are already, let's say, filled with some crazy people?
Well, expose him. Expose him totally and absolutely. And that is worse punishment for Obama than a show trial and incarceration. Don't give him a show trial. Just expose him for what, that's in my own pathetic, weak, little meaningless way. That's what I tried to do. That's what I tried to do after he was elected. I mean, at my expense, I fly off to California to interview one of his best friends at Occidental College when the first time he ever really lived in America was what? Occidental College.
Yes.
When he left Hawaii to go to Occidental. Up until that time, he had never even lived in the United States. And don't give me this BS about, Hawaii is part of the United States. Ask Hawaiians.
Hawaii's its own thing.
Yeah. Ask them if they think they're part of the United States. You get bitch slapped.
Watch out, buddy. Don't ask that question. Not in public, anyway.
No, you don't want to do that.
All right.
So, anyway, and when he arrived here at Occidental College, this gentleman that I went out to California to interview and talk to and get to know, he was a dedicated communist. Not Obama, this guy, a dedicated communist at Occidental College as a new student. And his buddy, Barack Obama, was, by his definition, another dedicated communist, but they had two different ideas on what they were going to do. Barack Obama, again, according to this man I interviewed, wanted to introduce communism into the United States through a violent overthrow of the government. He wanted a revolution. And my interviewee said I had to convince him that wasn't going to work in America. That wasn't going to happen in America. You would have to do it gradually, through over a course of years, through legislation, through changes in societal attitudes and what have you. And then, some years later, we have Barack Obama running for president, and his team saying, from day one, we are going to fundamentally change the United States of America. What the hell is a fundamental change?
Well, change everything.
We started finding that out.
Yeah, we started saying.
Yeah, that doesn't mean we're gonna increase welfare spending. No, we're going to demilitarize. We're going to cut defense spending. None of those are fundamental changes. Fundamental changes are the types of things.
The foundational stuff, like the Constitution, throwing it out.
Yeah, exactly. So is Obama complicit? I don't think we needed Tulsi Gabbard to tell us that.
But then I think the bigger question is, do you still go after the people that helped him perpetrate this? Somebody has got to go to jail. Somebody has to be held accountable, because this happens again. if no one is.
Okay. I would say yes, but I'm just going to ask you. I'm not going to ask you for a code section, but what was their crime? What actual criminal activity did they engage in?
Well, okay, that's going to be the fun part, because if I'm launching into conspiracy to commit treason charges, first off, I don't at this point now. I'm pretty much putting together a very similar case to a RICO case. I get the most flimsiest of ways to be able to point out here were the treasonous acts that were occurring. And again, by the very Constitution, there's only 3 laws in the Constitution that are pointed out: piracy, treason, and counterfeiting. And they did one of them.
Okay, define treason.
It would be, in this case, if I'm going to work against the actual government, and in this case work against the incoming government, that would be a treasonous act.
A coup seems like
I'm working against I'm working against the interests of the United States government
and the duly elected president.
Yes.
Well, levying war against the United States, of course, that could you call this waging war against the United States? Not a hot war, but maybe a cold, maybe. What about aiding, comfort, and aid to our enemies? Now, really, I'm not trying to nitpick with you. I've run out of nits.
No, I think it's good. This is good debate, but look.
What constitutes an enemy?
What about perjury, though? Let's start with perjury.
Yeah.
Lying under oath, saying that none of this stuff happened.
Now, remember this about lying under oath. If you believe a statement to be true at the time you utter it, it's not a lie.
But we know those people believed or did not believe.
We actually have paperwork that now shows they knew what the truth was at the time.
And then lied under oath saying that they didn't.
I love what you were saying about the raid on Mar-a-Lago.
What part?
The part about, oh my God, some of those files may be down there. We got to go get them.
Oh, right, yeah. Which we know is what happened.
But, here, we had that economic meltdown a couple of years ago. I forget exactly what year. It's not important, but it's an economic meltdown that occurred after all of those wonderful variable rate mortgages started seeing the rates go up and people defaulting, and oh my God, what a mess.
Yes, the housing crisis of 07-08.
Okay, and now a phrase became very popular back then called credit default swaps.
Yes.
And in order to really understand what was happening economically back then, you had to be able to understand what a credit default swap was.
Yeah, basically what we were doing is we were taking everyone's loans, packaging them into tiny, basically little, I guess the best way I can try and put it, you were able to purchase bundles of loans as debt and be able to say, okay, I now own this. And as people started to default and people started to then not be able to pay their mortgages, suddenly it created a monstrous problem in the entire marketplace.
Absolutely. But where did the swap come in? You see, people were really unable to wrap their heads around this, to really understand what was going on. And I'm afraid that with this Barack Obama, Tulsi Gabbard, and all these dudes, and by the way, I miss some of those surfing pictures of Tulsi Gabbard.
Well, so did I. They're surfing pictures?
Yeah, she surfs regularly, yeah.
Stand by.
Oh, yeah. I lived in Southern California for 8 years, lived in Hawaii for several years, never even stood on a surfboard. I'm such a geek.
But what happens, Neil, I'm able to explain, in pretty simple terms, where the president has immunity and where he doesn't. And what's clearly now been found by SCOTUS is when you take part in an unofficial act, then you do not have presidential immunity. Now, is an unofficial act running a covert operation against the incoming president?
A shadow government like?
Do you want a weeks-long trial to try to prove that?
Listen, I'll take whatever I can get.
Doesn't matter.
Okay? Like, I want to see these people having to explain themselves.
Oh, I do too. I want to see their reputations destroyed.
Yes.
I want to see the reputation of Barack Obama sullied. I mean, to the point that people people start saying, they warned us about him when he first got over here. They wondered what he meant by fundamentally transform, and now we're learning he wasn't all that. What an arrogant putz he was.
I'll tell you this, Neil, and this is where I appreciate you, and I think this is the next angle for Talkmaster here, because we can tell people all day long that he grew up as a devout communist, and here was what his plan
Parents
was.
were communists.
If you really want to destroy his legacy, his aura, and his standing in the black community, which is already starting, just tell everyone he's gay.
That'll do it.
And that'll do it. That'll do worse than anything else out there.
Not that there's anything wrong with that.
But it's the whole view of how he is. And now the community, we played a piece of audio. There was a 35-year-old father, young black man, father in the home. And he went off on social media going, really, I've got Mr. Obama and Mr. Obama telling us that what my son needs is a more mature gay mentor in order for him to be raised right.
And he was having none of it.
Well, that would certainly explain Michelle, wouldn't it?
It certainly would.
That's why he said Mr.
sorry.
and Mr.
Well, one of the most, in all of the research and study I did on Barack Obama, one in which I don't do now because I'm retired, but one amazing fact about Obama, and nobody has ever been able to refute this, to me anyway, was that there was not one single person of note anywhere in the life of Barack Obama, from infancy to the presidency, not one that loved America.
No, it's absolutely true.
His father didn't.
His mother didn't.
His mother, Stanley Ann, or was it Ann Stanley Dave? I don't know. His mother certainly didn't. That communist, God, you're going to have to help me with his name in Hawaii, that basically embraced the Obama family in Hawaii.
I know. I actually had a really good listener who called us and gave us a book that I have to look into, and it was all about those roots.
But
and
then,
going through some of the names.
Fast forward to Chicago and his pastor at church, the one that says GD. I've never seen a pastor say GD in church.
Here's a little historical factoid that I think most people aren't aware of. His mother married some guy named, in the Philippines, Sotero, and he was a businessman, and they but just make this simple.
Yeah, Lolo Sotero. I forgot his first name. Who could forget Lolo?
Well, that seems easy.
But he in his business dealings, he started to get very friendly with American businessmen, and his wife, Barack Obama's mother, became very, very upset with the fact that he was dealing and saying nice things about American businessmen. So she bailed on him. She gave him the big FU, and took her son and ran off to Hawaii. Why? Because her husband at that time said nice things and had pleasant arrangements with Americans, and that so upset her. Was that guy's Hawaiian name Frank Marshall Davis?
Frank Marshall Davis. I was just about to bring that up with you. Frank Marshall Davis.
Listen to that octogenarian memory coming through.
By the way, the book is from 2012. It's called The Communist. It's by Paul Kengor.
Huge.
It was passed along to us by one of our listeners, and yes, it does detail that entire relationship with Frank Marshall Davis.
And so people need to recognize that Barack Obama was not anything like what he presented himself to be to the American public. He was dedicated to the destruction of the American constitutional government. He hated this country as a child. He may have developed a little bit of affection for it as time went on. I don't know. And he is the one president I have not met, and good God, I'm happy I never did. And so what?
Well, maybe America's ready to hear all this, because they certainly weren't back a decade ago.
Maybe they are, but
I think
the idea of handcuffs and a mugshot and a trial, I think that's going to be very problematic. Here's some news today. You want to get off of Obama's back for a second?
Well, I guess so.
Yeah, how many jobs have been lost in California since they implemented the $20 minimum wage for fast food workers?
Thousands, I'm sure.
18,000. And that's just the beginning.
Just fast food.
18,000 jobs lost in California after they said, if you flip hamburgers, you got to get at least $20 an hour.
I also saw a story out of California yesterday. They talked about the amount of U-Haul dealerships that are having one way out of California, the amount of people that continue to leave.
Nobody won't go back.
It's now 5 straight years. For the first time in the state's history, they are actually losing population.
Here's the other thing, Neil. Listen to this. You got Mamdani in New York, the video that they posted last night.
God, I hope he wins.
Well, let me tell you, it's going to look just like California, but on steroids. They're posing with signs: freeze the rent, free and fast and free buses, child care for all. I'm telling you, they're marching right into what California, and they don't have the infrastructure. California is the 5th biggest economy in the world. New York's not.
No, it's going to be fun. I mean,
that's going to be awful. It's not going to be fun.
Am I evil for hoping he wins in New York City? Because I don't care about New York City. Let him.
But it's a cancer, Neil, and it's going to spread throughout the Northeast.
Oh, not if he wins and everybody sees what a disaster this guy is.
It's going to take so long.
Yeah, because I'm of that belief. I got to see Minneapolis several years ago, and I was there with a friend of ours. She flat out told us, she's like, it used to be so much better, but these people are ruining it. Now
Don't
to see
they have a new muzzy mayor now?
Yes, that's what's coming. That's around the corner, too.
So they've not learned a thing, and it continues to grow and spread.
So you're going to have Minneapolis in the Midwest, and then you're going to have New York in the East to show you these are the examples when you get out of hand.
You know, years ago, Don and I, when our first ever trip in the first ever Bortz bus, we ended up at the Mall of Somalia. I mean, the Mall of America. and we were astounded. I mean, it was a pretty nifty thing to see. And then years later, Donna said, well, I'm going to go to Canyon Ranch for a week, which is, we're both going to do that next week, by the way. So I said, well, I'm going to take a week off. I'm going to get in my airplane and I'm just going to go. I don't know. I'm just going to fly. So I ended up the first landing was at Meigs Field in Chicago, which that Mayor Daley later plowed under. And from there, I flew to Minneapolis because I wanted to go to the Mall of America again. And it was a complete transformation. All the women were walking around with garbage bags on. And it was a horrible disappointment. Never went back there. I actually ended up in Aspen, Colorado.
Well, it sounds like you traded up.
That doesn't sound all that bad.
I traded up. Ended up in Aspen, then went to Centennial, Colorado, and then had a good tailwind and actually made it in a single engine little puddle jumper airplane all the way from Colorado back to Atlanta without refueling.
Dang, son.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that was a hell of a trip.
I'm very hopeful, and maybe we can revisit this at a later date.
Well, I'm going to study it more because you guys are overpowering me right now.
Well, no, what I want you to do is next time we have you on, I want you to have basically a Hunter Biden moment. Just go scorched earth on everybody. Tell them where all the bodies are buried. Yeah, right. Tell them about hear all the problems. And everyone you ever knew, you can just crap all over them because that was fun yesterday.
Let me tell you who makes up my hotel room. I don't want them in my hotel room while I'm there.
I'm the same way. I do it myself.
Yeah, I put the do not disturb and it
every
stays there
time.
all week long.
Yeah,
do not
absolutely. I don't change my sheets every day at home. Why would I want that there?
Nah, that's exactly.
So just drop me off some towels.
That's all I need, man.
Just give me towels. I'll be happy.
That's right.
Okay,
Neil, it's always great to talk to you, man.
Y'all be good.
You too, Neil Bortz, the Talkmaster. Nobody's better, man. Nobody's better.
I am that guy. I do a week in a hotel, and it's do not disturb, and all I'm like, can I get some towels?
Yeah, and when they knock on the door, do anything? Get a couple towels? I'm good, thank you.
I don't trust you in there. I'm busy.
Yeah. I just don't, there's something about having people just wandering around. It didn't. Anyway. When we come back, Scott Bessent is confirming Trump's demands of loyalty, but not yes men. Next on Extra 106.3.
The latest sports news, powered by 680 The Fan, and driven to extra listeners by RBM of Atlanta in Sandy Springs, Atlanta's Mercedes-Benz connection since 1964.
Good morning. Here are your sports headlines for Tuesday, July 22nd. The Atlanta Braves took the opening game of their 3-game series against the San Francisco Giants at Truist Park, 9-5. The final game 2 is set for tonight. It'll be Davis Daniel set to make the start for the Braves. Landon Raup on the mound for the Giants. First pitch is set for 7:15. You can hear that game live on our sister station's brand new app, 680 The Fan. From the NFL, the season is nearly here. The Falcons will open training camp this week from Flowery Branch with the first on-field workouts beginning on Thursday. With your sports headlines, I'm Carlos Medina.
It is a beautiful day in Atlanta, right? It's 74 now. It's going to be, about 91 this afternoon. Beautiful day. God, I love summertime in Atlanta. But if you're trying to keep your house cool, well, that could be a challenge. If you have single-pane windows in that house, going to be tough to keep that hot air out and that cool air in. What do? Well, that's easy. You call Southern Exteriors, 877-9-SOUTHERN, southernexteriors.co. Work with a company that's been just the mark of professionalism since 1999. Over 200,000 jobs under their belt, based in Jackson, Georgia, serving all of Metro Atlanta. Windows, doors, siding, roofing, gutters, millwork. They do it all. And not only do those more energy-efficient windows help with the power bill, they also make your house look like it was the day you bought it. That it gives it that sparkle, that gleam. It makes it the envy of the neighborhood. You don't think new windows changes the way your house looks? Think again. We changed our windows. Oh, my gosh. Can't tell you the difference. It's incredible. So you can do this. Get energy-efficient windows and doors, for that matter. Get a new roof, get new siding, all at Southern Exteriors. 10% off any job, no matter how big, or 12 months, 0% financing, 877-9-SOUTHERN, southernexteriors.co.
When you enter the financial red zone, it's time to start rethinking your financial strategies and protecting what you've built. Coach Pete, what should we consider in the financial red zone?
As we enter that financial red zone, which is over age 50, we must have some money put aside that's going to give us a guaranteed lifetime income. Without income, you don't have a retirement. Now, you get your Social Security, so work on maximizing that, but then you've got money in 401ks, 403bs, TSPs, IRAs, anywhere you have money, and it's a nice lump sum. But we need to figure out how much income you can get from the lump sum you have that's guaranteed for life. That takes all the worry out of it in retirement. If you already know you've already got the money put aside, you don't have to get a checkbook out. The money's already there. Just make sure it's in the right place to give you and your family that lifetime income you can never outlive.
For a comprehensive and customized retirement review, call Coach Pete's local trusted advisor, Craig Chandler of Chandler Wealth Management. 800-419-6164. 800-419-6164.
Kimmer here. You know, there's a lot of companies out there talking about windows and siding. Well, let me narrow the list for you. Peach State Windows. I first worked with Jeff, the owner, and his wife 25 years ago. Family business, top-grade, energy-efficient windows, custom fit perfectly, deals on siding. Oh, my, like I had Hardy Plank to be just right for your home. Peach State Windows, but so much more. Roof issues? No problem. How about entry doors? Yep, their pros make those just right, too. Financing? No money down. 770-485-8011 or peachstatewindows.com.
Hey, this is John Flading from ATL Turfco. We're a family-owned and operated independent local company here in the Atlanta area. We've been in business for over 15 years. We install several different types of artificial grass. One is landscape, which looks like real grass for your lawn. The next one is pet turf. Pet turf is a little bit shorter than landscape, and it's more durable. And the other one is putting greens. If you can dream it, we can build it. Just go to atlturfco.com to schedule an appointment.
Well, it's finally summer, and while you're enjoying the sun, your rain gutters might be quietly filling up with debris. Summer often brings heavy rainfall in many parts of the country, and if your gutters are clogged, water can overflow and lead to costly damage. In wildfire-prone areas, gutters can also trap dry, flammable debris, creating a fire hazard. We all know it's important to maintain our gutters, but I'm not going to get up on a ladder to do it myself. I'm a big fan of hiring a real professional to protect my home, and I trust Leaf Filter, America's #1 gutter and gutter protection company. Right now, you can save 30% off your entire order. Just go to leaffilter.com/Glenn Beck. Leaf Filter's trusted pros will clean out, realign, and seal your gutters before installing Leaf Filter's award-winning and patented technology, trusted by over 1 million homeowners. Schedule your free inspection and get up to 30% off your entire purchase at leaffilter.com/Glenn Beck. That's leaffilter.com/Glenn Beck. See a representative for warranty details.
The Morning Extra on Atlanta's only conservative news and talk station, Extra 106.3 FM.
Tug and Los until 10 on the Morning Extra. If you missed Neil Bortz, go back and listen to it on the Extra 106.3 app. He was on fire again today. I just think in the last couple of months, man, he's had so much to say and has the platform to say it. And if you miss it, then you do miss out, because dude is a legend.
It's the beneficiary. As I said, we live in this crazy pivotal time where it is one of the most important times in American history. As everyone always thinks, I live in the most important time. No, what's going on right now is one of the most important times in American history. And so to have somebody who has this much content, these many things happening, and the way Neil says, sees the world and then talks about it, it's fun every single week because it's always something. I mean, who better than to have somebody who spent, as long as he did on the air, but who's also a lawyer, to then talk about all of this craziness going on with Barack Obama.
Well, that and the fact that he interviewed Roger Bosch, the professor of politics at Occidental College, that is known as Barack Obama's mentor. The fact that he sat down with that, he has insight that most people don't have.
One of the stories that you'll read about during his college years, this being Barack Obama, was that as he got older into school, as he moved on and was at grad school at the time, when everyone talked about how they were going to change the world, I'm going to go be a doctor, I'm going to do this, Barack Obama had recognized you do it from the inside. It's like being a street activist and yelling with a sign does very little. How do you find yourself at the levers of government? Because once you do, that's when stuff starts to change. And he wanted to radically change the country into something we would not recognize.
And I'm glad Neil brought it up when he said, what do you think he meant by fundamentally change America? Because I remember sitting there during that campaign with friends and family and coworkers, and everybody talked about, because that was the slogan, fundamentally change. He said it every stop. And I was like, y'all, that ain't good. Fundamentally changing America, that's not changing one, tweaking two. It's not just doing small things. That is taking the foundation of what America is and represents and throwing it away and starting over with something new. That doesn't sound good to me. And you see that now. You know who else has picked that up? I would say the at least symbolic leader of the Democrat Party in AOC. She says, maybe the United States does crumble. That's okay, because something better can spring up out of the rubble. It's the same thing. Fundamentally change America.
The plan from the 1960s that never picked up, but was always theory. Like, how would you cause America to collapse and then something else to eventually snake its way out from it? And it was destroy our foundations by flooding all of our social services to the point where, like, let's say our veterans, suddenly they're up in arms, or our older people, they're up in arms. And the way you do that, and the way that they eventually figured it out, was open up the border, flood the social services, create such mayhem that people start looking around saying, we got to fix this, or we need something different. That was always the theory. But no one, including Barack Obama, because he wanted 8 years, no one was strong enough to say, yeah, let's do that, because you knew it was political suicide. But when you already have a puppet.
That's right. When you have a guy that has no idea what he's doing to begin with, and you're controlling the levers, you don't get the blame. He does. And Barack Obama was smart enough to see that.
Day one.
His third term, as he would call it.
Day one.
That's right.
Open up that border, 10,000 a day.
Dude, and you see what has happened because of it. You look around America, you see the crime, you see the issues with California's to the point where they're like, we can't afford all of these illegals. I know we promised, but we can't afford it. Illinois, same way.
There was a video I saw yesterday of it was a couple that was touring an apartment in Los Angeles. Bars on the windows, no refrigerator, $2,595 a month. Why? Because they have an issue there with housing. Why? Because half the people in some of these places are illegal.
That's right.
You run them out, you see how prices come down.
And it's amazing. Here's the other thing. It's amazing that we can't afford all of this stuff, and yet you have Mom Donnie in New York talking about free health care and free bus service and free child care.
The communist always promises all of this.
That's right.
And then when you're disillusioned, the communists, now it won't happen in this country, I believe, but the communists shoot you first.
That's right. Oh, God. Mafia-style politics in D.C. is the conversation after the Neil Bortz Report. And the Fox News update next on Extra 106.3.
It's time for the Bortz Report, exclusively on Atlanta's only conservative news and talk station, Extra 106.3.
You want to be instantly bored? Well, listen to people talking about what they were doing when Neil Armstrong first set foot on the moon. I was sitting in front of a TV at 6980 Roswell Road in absolute awe. Now, if you don't want to be bored, go on the internet, go to Facebook, go to pretty much any Facebook page that celebrates our arrival on the moon, and read the comments from the idiots, the imbeciles out there who believe it was all fake. No, really, these people exist. And if you can get by their mental issues, they're really quite entertaining. I really wish somebody would do a documentary on this. Netflix, maybe, like their Poop Cruise documentary, which I highly recommend. What do these people really believe? Well, of course, the Earth is flat, and it's covered by some sort of a dome that they call the firmament. And what keeps the oceans from running off the flat Earth? Why, we are surrounded by a circle of ice, a big ice wall that holds the water in. Do we have pictures of it? No, because the military protects it as a no-go zone. Buzz Aldrin admitted they didn't go to the moon. No, he didn't. Same for Neil Armstrong. Neither did he. I love this one. Planes don't dip their nose. Commercial flights never account for curvature. There's something called Airy's failure. In 1871, an attempt to prove Earth's motion using water-filled telescope concluded the stars move, not the Earth. Oh, I forgot to tell you, they also believe the Earth is stationary and everything circles the Earth. Take a break from today's news. Explore the flat Earth people on the internet today. Great fun. Neil Bortz, Extra 106.3.
I just received an update from the International Fellowship of Christians and Jews, and the situation across Israel is historically fragile and urgent. Israel is on the front lines of the fight against radical Islam, and the Israeli neighborhoods are destroyed. Dozens of Israelis dead, untold more are injured, and the suffering is not going to stop anytime soon. So whether it's in peacetime or at war, the people of Israel know an overwhelming of ballistic missiles could fall at any moment. And when the sirens sound, and I know this to be true, you have about 15 seconds to reach a bomb shelter. But Israelis, they don't have enough bomb shelters, especially in Tel Aviv and to Israel's north, where countless attacks have been concentrated. That's why the Fellowship is working around the clock to build in place hundreds of concrete reinforced bomb shelters, each of them ready when the next rocket strike occurs. The Fellowship is deploying 60 new bomb shelters, including 10 immediate placements and 50 upgraded models with blast-resistant steel doors to protect vulnerable Israeli citizens from future threats. To learn more about IFCJ and their life-saving work, go online to ifcj.org. That's ifcj.org.
WFOM and W292 EV Marietta, a Dickey broadcasting station. The 8 a.m. hour is brought to you by Central Heating and Air.
The King family isn't happy about it. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. 200,000 plus pages of newly declassified files about Martin Luther King Jr. sent to the National Archives 57 years after his assassination. Fox's Jared Halpern's at the White House.
President Trump has promised to release long-held government files on King, as well as the assassinations of President John F. Kennedy and his brother Robert F. Kennedy. A 1977 court order kept the MLK records sealed, and King's two living children opposed their release, urging the files be viewed within their full historical context.
Well, King's daughter Bernice, who was 5 years old when he was murdered, posted on X, "Now do the Epstein files." Referencing the still simmering controversy over Jeffrey Epstein, who committed suicide in jail awaiting trial for sex trafficking underage girls. Trump supporters have angered the president, continuing to demand all the files be released as they doubt an FBI conclusion Epstein did not leave behind a list of well-known clients. President Trump calls it a hoax perpetrated by Democrats. We just heard this morning from the Justice Department saying they plan to talk to Ghislaine Maxwell, who was convicted for her role in helping Epstein. Fox's Ryan Schmelz reports from the Capitol.
House Speaker Mike Johnson says a bipartisan resolution calling for the release of documents related to the case that landed Jeffrey Epstein behind bars will not get a vote before the August recess.
My belief is we need the administration to have the space to do what it is doing. And if further congressional action is necessary or appropriate, then we'll look at that. But I don't think we're at that point right now.
A month after the U.S. joined Israel attacking Iran's nuclear program feared to be building weapons, Iran's Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi tells Fox's Brett Baer,
our facilities have been damaged, seriously damaged.
But at the same time, the foreign minister says that Iran will continue to enrich uranium. They cannot give up that nuclear fuel. America's listening to Fox News.
Living with everyday pain is like having a voice that always says, no, you can't do that. No, you better sit this one out. It's no way to live. So if pain is affecting you, see how Relief Factor can help get you back to life on your terms. One where you say yes a lot more. Relief Factor is a daily supplement that fights pain naturally. Developed by doctors, Relief Factor's unique formula of natural ingredients does not just mask pain, it helps reduce or eliminate it for good. Whether it's your back, neck, joints, or muscles, Relief Factor can help you, as it has for so many others. So call 1-800-4RELIEF and give Relief Factor's 3-week quick start a try. It's only $19.95, less than $1 a day to get your life back. Just go to ReliefFactor.com or call 1-800-4RELIEF. That's 1-800-4-RELIEF. And see how you can say yes to more of everything you want.
It took 100 years, but finally there's a conservative voice you can trust. Atlanta's only conservative news and talk station, Extra 106.3.
Morning, y'all. Tug and Los until 10. Glad that you're here. 404-741-1230. We can't thank you enough for making Extra a part of your morning. Or if you're on the Extra 106.3 app, maybe the Morning Extra is part of your afternoon. Be just fine. That's the beauty of the app, so you listen anytime on demand at your leisure. It makes it so simple, Los. It's so perfect.
Well, you can take it anywhere you want.
That's right.
In fact, I think yesterday when I was listening to the Kimmer show, I think I texted Flounder from the basement trying to make a correction to something they had pointed out.
Oh.
I was like, yeah, that person you're talking about said they went to Georgia. They didn't go to Georgia.
Oh, no.
Just wanted to clarify that.
Who was it?
No, I'm not getting it. You got to go back to the app and listen in the 4 o'clock hour.
Perfect reason to do that.
4 o'clock hour. And maybe they made the correction.
Maybe. We'll see.
I was hoping. I just know that from what they were about to bring up, I was like, I would not like that associated to my wife's alma mater.
Yeah, right. Don't say that. Don't say that.
In some place where I hope to send a daughter or two and I spend quite a bit of money in the fall.
That's right.
I was like, no, don't want to associate.
Yeah, but the beauty is they're going to be on that Hope Scholarship. That way, when you're spending money in the fall, it's just at the tailgate.
Okay.
That's what you're looking for.
Smiles all around.
Just everybody.
Everybody happy now.
Ronald McDonald smiles just everywhere. Just happy as can be. See, there's another reason to go get the app. Another reason. And if I open up my phone, like I normally do when I get home, I just pop it on there and listen in the...
Here's my app.
Yeah, dude, it's so handy. So handy. When I listen to some of Beck, listen to Clay and Buck, and then in the afternoon, listen to the Kimmer. But anyway it goes, if you missed anything this morning, like Neil Boards, go back and listen to Neil, because he talked about interviewing the man that became Barack Obama's mentor.
They were associates in college, and then they were mentoring, throughout his time in undergrad.
Mm-hmm. At Occidental College.
And that was where you got a pretty good idea foundationally of, if you want to know why a communist feels comfortable using their power, it's because communists feel comfortable using power.
Yes, they enjoy it. And they do it really, really well. Not to your benefit by any means, but they do it well. So go back and listen to that. It's an interesting conversation. Scott Besson is a guy that I've told you how many times I like. I think he's a really, really smart guy, just astute, I think he's dialed in. I think he understands the moment that we're living in.
I think he's smarmy as hell.
Dude, I
love that too.
Yeah, he has a little bit of that. He's entertaining. And it's so funny.
He's a good soundbite, and that's great for our business.
And no doubt. And his delivery is so good. He comes off as smarter than everybody in the room because he is, but he's not afraid to drop it down and hit you with something.
Well, he'll let you know.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, exactly.
And as I joked around about it, I think it was like last week, when he goes on some of the Sunday shows, whether it's Face the Nation or anywhere else, and he starts taking, reporterette or, anchorette and starts woodshedding that person, as I joked around, is it mansplaining if you're a homosexual man? Or because the only thing he's not saying is and this is the way it is, sister.
Yeah, right.
He's
he resists that urge.
The normal response that you get from the left is, well, you can't talk to her that way. You're a man. You can't talk to her that way. Well, he's got deflector shields.
He does. He's got a boxing check.
He's like, and I love that.
And don't talk to me that way.
Exactly. And don't talk to me that way. So it's just taking their own rules and turning it against them. I told you, the pretzel moments are wonderful when they occur.
What do you mean, you people?
That's right. That's right, yes. We're blessed to have him. I've said that a million times. He was asked about advising Donald Trump about firing Jerome Powell, and he describes it, and it's so point on. It's so good. His comparison to the last two failed administration and Obama's third term by Joe Biden, he's able to just weave everything together and help you understand it, even though he's way up here with intelligence, and he speaks about something that's hard to understand, which is the Treasury and everything that goes along with it. But he's able to speak to you and I. And he said Trump has a lot of people around him that give him advice, including Scott Bessent. But he places value in all the people that he's put together. He does not require yes men. Does he require loyalty? Absolutely he does, but not yes men. And I think that's something that Scott Bessent points out when they're talking about, should we let Jerome Powell go or not? Listen to the way he weaves it all together.
How much of this story is real? How, is it in between? And I'm talking about the notion that you urged him not to fire Jay Powell, and he actually is obviously he's the president, he can do what he wants. But did you have a conversation?
Well, Joe, I think the problem with stories like this is I'm not sure who the leaker was, but the problem with leakers is they only have partial information. And I think the other problem, too, is that newspapers like the Wall Street Journal are not used to a high-functioning executive president. They are used to, perhaps President Biden, perhaps President Obama, who was not as economically sophisticated as President Trump. President Trump solicits a whole range of opinions and then makes a decision. So he takes a lot of inputs, and at the end of the day, it's his decision, just as it was his decision on Iran. And look at the tremendous success there. Look at the tremendous success at the border. And that is what a great executive looks like.
There's two things that I took away from what he said there. As I said, he, in the setup, pointing out the failures of the Obama administration, the Biden administration, he called them dumb economically without saying they're dumb.
Yes.
He said they're not used to having a president that's economically astute.
Such a really pretty way of pointing it out.
You're talking about putting lipstick on a pig. That's what he did. He was able to point out how they have no idea what they're talking about. Donald Trump does. And then he went on when he talked about just the amount of opinions around him, and then taking the best advice from all the people, weighing it out, and making a decision. That's what a good leader does. And if you need more evidence of it, of what Scott Bessent has said, go back to the Signal chat. Every time, that is where I go, because you had 5 or 6 people, all with differing opinions, having a discussion.
This is going to be a big hour for America. And anybody who's driving around going like, well, what are you talking about? Why is this going to happen? What do you mean what's going to happen? Jerome Powell is supposed to have an announcement at 8:30. Now, as of yesterday, sweet, clean Anna Paulina Luna out of Florida.
Hey, girl.
The angel of death in Congress has formally referred Jerome Powell to the DOJ for criminal investigation. This being tied into how much was used by the Fed for renovations to their building. I think the tune was like $3.5 billion.
How much did SoFi out in L.A. cost? Do you know what that
About
stadium?
$3 billion.
Yeah.
You're like, wait a minute. I can get a 80,000 seat stadium apparently?
But, I mean, you're not supposed to do that in government work.
So the issue becomes, and as Besant had pointed out, well, I suggest to Donald Trump you can't fire him because he can't actually. You have to fire him with cause if that was ever to occur. What I believe is that they have found enough stuff to go, you're going to walk away. And then you're going to get that rate cut at the end of July. July 29th and 30th is the next date where the Fed is going to be getting together. If we get word that Scott Bessent is stepping into that Fed chair on a temporary basis, we're going to have a really big day today. That's going to be victory all the way around because as of now, Jerome Powell has only moved that rate down in order to help Kamala Harris. And keep in mind, when Donald Trump brings up the mistakes of his first administration, the thing he brought up with Joe Rogan, and he said a number of times, he wasn't a politician. He didn't know who to hire. They gave him a list. Jerome Powell is one of his hires. And now Jerome Powell actively works against Donald Trump. This is why you're getting a different kind of group of people where you say, not yes men, loyal, but have different ideas about what's going on if you can explain it.
Yeah. Just go to the Signal chat. Look at the idea about bombing the Houthis, because that's what it was all about, and how many different opinions were there. Donald Trump made the decision to fire at the Houthis and ultimately going on to fire at who sponsors them, Iran, getting rid of the bulk of their nuclear program. But it was against the advice of J.D. Vance. J.D. Vance was like, I don't know. Did Donald Trump scold him in this private chat? No. He took him under advisement because he's there for a reason. Donald Trump trusts him. I love that. I love good leadership. And you can recognize good leadership from a mile away. If you've ever been around a good leader, you know it. It's very clear. There's no missing it.
I just like that, as the audio we played, Bessent saying, well, I suggested he not fire him.
Yeah, right.
I've advised him not to fire him.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, they're basically firing him.
Yeah, right. But with, like you said, with cause, they're finding a way around.
You either have to go through the issue of with cause, like this investigation in the House will go away as soon as he does.
Yeah.
And that's, you can say that's dirty politics. What I will tell you is...
Or it's just politics.
It's just politics. And we are at the point now where if I think we want to unleash the floodgates of what this economy can be...
And we do.
Get the rate down. Get the rate down where it matches with the rest of the Western world. We're the ones that are sitting higher than everybody.
Which makes no sense whatsoever because our economy is the biggest. Our economy will be affected the greatest by that. You're talking about inferno, man.
Well, the fear...
It would burn it down.
The fear that gets pushed forward is hyperinflation. All I'm pointing out is that every single time we have had an expert over the first 6 months of this administration tell you what's going to happen based on what they're doing, it hasn't.
Right. The tariffs, mainly. Right? That's the biggest, the stark example. The tariffs are going to give you empty shelves. The tariffs are going to do this. The tariffs are going to do that. It's going to sink the economy. It's going to be the worst thing that's ever happened. And now all of them are having to eat crow on national television telling you, hey, yeah, we're wrong. Sorry.
And because it's different, because I haven't seen in terms of Scott Bessent where I went, wow, okay, he's being extremely political. I mean, granted, the guy is doing what he's supposed to be doing over at the Treasury. He's explaining what is supposed to occur. But as he said, he's also advising the president. If there's a rate cut and then there's not one the following month because Bessent says, hold on, I want to pause, I want to see where we're at, I trust that a lot more than seeing Jerome Powell not touch the rate for the longest amount of time, keep it artificially high. Because remember, what is the Fed's stated goal? The Fed's goal is to deal with inflation.
And I don't know if they've paid attention.
We haven't had it.
I was gonna say, I don't know if they've been paying attention to where inflation is, but it's been reduced greatly.
And the problem
since
is,
Trump's in office.
It's not like we have negative inflation. It's not like prices have gone back to 5 years ago. Now, gas prices have. You know, we've had some reductions that we need, but we need to get the market humming in a way where Main Street has more money in its pocket so that we can start seeing some of the, in my opinion, some of these negative inflation environments.
And it benefits every American. That's the goal. That's why Donald Trump ran. He's like, I want to create that environment. I love this country. I want to create that environment so every American has an opportunity. Every American can live the American dream.
Let's say the rates. Currently, you're living right around 7%, okay, on a 30-year fixed. Let's say it was living right around 4%. That's a significant cut.
Yeah,
That's
sure.
a huge cut. Yeah. But at 4%, Tug, are you perhaps selling your home?
It's certainly considering it.
Are you looking to purchase another home?
Yeah.
Maybe even try and invest some money into something that might return some money?
Without a doubt.
Okay, that's
my wife and I were having this discussion last night.
That is the idea of people, if you put them in an acceptable rate, something that's not going to crush them, they start using their money in the marketplace. Everyone who's like, well, you're just printing a whole bunch of money. No, you're allowing people to use their money.
That's right.
They get to keep more of it. They're not paying it into this level of interest, and now they get active in the economy with it.
About 15 minutes from now.
I'm rubbing my hands together. See, I've been calling for this for a while.
It'd be nice to see it happen.
You know what? He might give me a Wolf of Wall Street.
Yeah, I'm not going anywhere.
Not going anywhere.
It's possible. Possible. We'll talk about it when it happens.
He just,
yeah, that's right.
And I'll be like, oh no, it's backfired.
Oh, it's the worst. Here I had such hope. Now I have done. Or maybe he does say I'm not going anywhere, but I've discussed this with Donald Trump. We think the right way forward is a rate cut. Maybe it's that.
We'll see.
We shall see.
Again, I think the next Fed meeting is, I believe it's the 29th, 30th. I'll double check that, but I know it's the end of the month is when the next meeting is going to occur, and I just think that's the next shoe to drop.
Sure.
When does our interest rate match the rest of the Western world?
Well, we talked about a few weeks ago. Trump wants a 3% cut or 3-point cut. About what he's wanting.
That's what he said. Yeah.
And I looked up what the biggest rate cut in history has
ever.
Been. 2020, right after COVID, 1 point, 1 full point.
Yeah, one full point.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'd be massive. Even 1 full point.
Yeah, that points us in the right direction.
Depending on where you're at, it's potentially thousands of dollars. And then if you're then seeing at least quarter point, half point, whatever it is, 3 points would be would be a little too.
I'm not sure.
I'd be like, well, that's aggressive.
Yeah, funny. I don't know that I expect that, but 3 points over the year or 3 points over the next 18 months.
I'd be on the phone with the bank that hour.
As would everybody else.
I'd be like, call me in the morning. This is what we're doing.
That's exactly right. Everybody else would too. So we'll wait, see what happens around this.
About 8:30.
About 8:30, about 12 minutes from now. Tug and Los until 10 on the Morning Extra and Extra 106.3. Man, isn't it great, though, to have the thought of something good happening? Because when Biden was in office, every day when we crack the mic, you're like, oh, God, what's going to happen today? This is going to be the worst. And it usually ended up being the worst.
There's a whole lot of comedy.
But that's the kind of comedy you have to laugh at or you'll cry.
I think I spent most of the days, because again, I'm not sitting there, like, I talked about TDS. You can go search and be like, okay, how much does somebody say Trump in their mentions? And when I told you scroll and scroll and scroll, and that's all they talk about. You won't find that with Biden with me either. But I know what happens with that administration, whether it's Barack Obama or Joe Biden. My family's the target for everything they want to do. We're the ones who have to pay for it.
Holy cow.
So I just sat back going like, here it comes.
And I was told I was a threat to democracy by the president. You white male Christian veteran, you and your silly flag. Remember when Michelle Obama, all this for that flag?
Yeah, she did.
Was that at 9/11? Was it a 9/11 memorial?
I think it was a 10-year anniversary.
10-year anniversary?
Yeah, in 2011.
All this for that flag. Low down. When we continue on Extra 106.3, the unhinged Hunter Biden interview quickly reminds you of the chaos and failure of the last 4 years. Let you hear from him and our response to it next on Extra.
The Extra Extra 106.3 app is your live connection to the station, streaming free across Georgia. But it's also loaded with all our original shows and podcasts. Listen to exclusive shows from Janelle King, Ben Burnett, and so many more. Grab the Extra 106.3 app now and start streaming.
Hey, it's Los. Let's talk about Tom, the Honest Car Guy. First off, you can just go to the website, honestcarguy.com, or you can give Tom a call, 844-SHOW-ME-1, 844-SHOW-ME-1. Now, some of you, because you've emailed me to tell me about your interactions with Tom and how satisfied you were, and obviously how much you learned about what it's like to purchase a vehicle. That's part of what Tom does. Tom has been doing this work, running dealerships in the state of Georgia for years. Stepped away from doing that, then he started working on his own project, and this is what it became, honestcarguy.com. What do? You reach out, and all you have to do is have a make and model in mind. Tom, this is the vehicle that I'm looking for. That's when Tom starts going to work. And what he's going to do is he's going to find that vehicle anywhere around the country. Whatever options you're looking for, he's going to be able to find that for you. When you're looking for trade-in, when you're looking to finance, hey, he's got options for that for you as well. But here's really the big part. Tom is going to say, here's the price for that vehicle to get it here into the state of Georgia and to get it right here. At that point, that's your price. That's what it's going to be. There will be no additional dealer fees or anything else. All Tom asks for and is going to charge you is the Honest Car Guy fee. You start doing the math, you'll be saving thousands of dollars versus going through a traditional dealership. That is the magic of this process. That's why go to honestcarguy.com or give Tom a call, 844-SHOW-ME-1. That's 844-SHOW-ME, the number 1.
Millions of guys suffer from erectile dysfunction. That's 1 in 3 men. And I can tell you, I'm one of them.
If you or someone you know suffers from ED, Peyronie's disease, or PE, here's 38-year emergency room doctor and founder of Total Body Therapy of Georgia, Dr. Eric Deal.
Patients who enter my office are often frustrated, hopeless, depressed, and embarrassed. I understand the problem, and I'm going to help you fix it. We provide testosterone replacement therapy, the P-shot, and treatment for ED, PE, and Peyronie's disease. There's not just one therapy that can solve these complex issues. When you visit our clinic, you're going to see me. I'll do a complete history and physical prior to any treatment that we use. Take it from me, Dr. Deal. When it's not hard, it's really hard.
Call Dr. Deal for your free one-on-one evaluation and resolve your ED, Peyronie's, or PE issues. 404-777-1911. Total Body Therapy of Georgia. 404-777-1911. Online at tbtofga.com.
Make going back to school a little more fun as the Brewers and Marlins come to Truist Park August 4th through the 10th. The week includes the Ronaldo Lopez bobblehead giveaway presented by Coca-Cola on August 4th, followed by the Ronald Acuna Jr. Funko Pop giveaway presented by Xfinity on August 6th. And new this year is the Batman Ticket Package, which includes a Batman bobblehead and a game ticket. Visit Braves.com/promos to purchase your tickets as low as $10. Atlanta Braves baseball. We are Braves country.
By texting 26022, you agree to receive recurring automated marketing messages from Tax Lien Code. Message and data rates may apply. Terms apply. Available at taxliencode.com.
Imagine waking up and not needing to rush. No commute, no emails, no boss. Just coffee, sunlight, and the freedom to choose. That's the power of tax lien investing. It's been around for over 200 years, used by banks, hedge funds, and the wealthy. And now, finally, it's being taught right here in Atlanta. It's secure, predictable, passive income backed by real estate and mandated by state law. And it pays you, sometimes 15 to 35% returns. You don't need to own property. You just need to see how it works and how to do it right. We've taught over 100,000 students, and we'll teach you for free at a live masterclass right here in Atlanta. If you're ready to start building real wealth through tax lien investing, this is it. Text EARN to 26022 to reserve your free seat. That's EARN to 26022. But hurry, seats are limited. Text EARN to 26022.
Hey, Georgia neighbors, it's time to expect more from your Medicare Advantage. Discover Sonder Health's custom plans tailored just for Georgians. Saunders offers unique benefits, including special plans for those living with chronic conditions. Some plans even come with grocery or gas benefits to support your overall well-being. Sonder Health makes it easy to get the coverage you need. See for yourself what today's Medicare Advantage can do for you. Visit SonderHealthPlans.com, a healthier state of life. Sonder Health Plans is an HMO and PPO with Medicare contracts. Enrollment in Sonder Health Plans depends on contract renewal.
You protect your physical health by choosing your doctors carefully. Protect your financial health by choosing an attorney carefully. An accident can be very costly. You want to receive the compensation you deserve. Call Van Sant Law. My friend David Van Sant will take care of you, trust me, very well. The number is 855-GA-INJURY. The website is vansantlaw.com. In the event of an accident, it could be the most important phone call you make.
The stories that matter to you. These are your Georgia headlines.
Here are your Georgia headlines for Tuesday, July 22nd. The Cobb County Fire Department was honored Monday as the first department in the country to use a new treatment designed to stop bleeding in seconds. Trauma Gel, a plant-based gel with FDA approval, is being tested in 6 agencies across the country. Firefighters say it's a major game changer in saving lives and have used the new treatment 17 times so far, including on one of their own. Georgia Tech will build one of the world's most powerful supercomputers. The National Science Foundation has awarded the university with $20 million to build the supercomputer known as Nexus. It will use AI to develop faster breakthroughs in medicine, robotics, and aerospace. Nexus is expected to be ready next spring. And a special delivery in Douglas County as a woman gave birth in the backseat of her vehicle on the way to the hospital. A Douglas County deputy provided a police escort and assisted the family after the father flagged him down. The baby girl is happy and healthy and back home with family. Today's weather partly cloudy with highs in the low 90s. We'll have some scattered storms overnight. With your headlines, I'm Jerry Payne for Extra 106.3.
I admit I'm not sure if we should listen to Hunter Biden because, I mean, should you listen to a crackhead? Should you listen to a dude that is his life is a complete mess? But this dude had some clarity at moments about what happened during his father's administration, the fact that he was so honest about Joe Biden being pushed out, them already making the decision, Nancy Pelosi being the person that spearheaded it all. But then he gets off, he takes a train down a dirt road when he's talking about the craziness of the things that he believes. Like, who's going to pick our cotton was part of that conversation.
You thought about how angry he is?
Yes. You can see it. You can see it on his face.
Every now and then when somebody does one of those interviews, I think it's revealing when they want to give you the inside information. You go, oh, now I get why they're angry. Now I get why they were wronged. All I got from him was that he's just mad that he doesn't have any real direction or any real future if his dad isn't in office.
He even said, he brought up the fact, I don't think it was in this interview, but in a previous interview, if I'm not mistaken, maybe on NBC, I'll fact check myself to tell you for sure. Remember, he said himself that his artwork sales have dried up and his book is not selling.
What?
I know, it's very surprising.
Is it weird that he's no longer getting $250,000 per art piece?
What was the reason?
What was the reason beforehand?
And why all of a sudden has that stopped? So that, again, it tells you exactly why he's angry.
Kind of feels
he's lost
like
power,
like the rock star who can't make a hit anymore.
It's
like, well, maybe you were never a rock star.
Could be that.
Maybe that's the case. But I want you to take a listen. He has such a laundry list of people he's mad at, and everything that we speculated turned out to be true.
And you would have the Speaker Emeritus that would say, well, I'm going to leave it up to, but I don't know. And they had already made a decision. They had clearly made a decision. And when I say they, I mean the Speaker. And, I heard Alexander Pelosi say something, call my like, put your big girl pants on to my mom or something. And I kind of feel like saying, who the do you think you are? I would never speak about your mom that way.
Yeah.
I would never speak about your father that way.
Yeah, you would.
I would never insult your parents that way. Even to this day.
That is a very angry man. And everything that we had thought when last July occurred, because we've just now hit, it was actually as of yesterday, I believe, or day before yesterday. No, yesterday. That was the 1-year anniversary of Joe Biden leaving the race. And we said, what caused this? And the speculation was that, and we'd heard in coming days, that Nancy Pelosi and Chuck Schumer got him out, but most notably Nancy Pelosi, and that's why they were so angry at her.
Furious.
And so he confirmed it. And to think about it, Nancy Pelosi actually told Jill Biden, who was power hungry herself, put your big girl pants on. Like, is that not such like an 80-year-old woman thing to tell you? Why don't you put your big girl pants on?
Yes, absolutely.
Grandma Vodka flat out told Jill Biden to go put her big girl pants on.
The one thing that I'll say about Hunter is keep him out there. Let him talk as much as he wants to talk. Because all it does is shine a spotlight on the last 4 years and the failures. The fact that Joe Biden had no idea what was going on. The fact that Joe Biden needed Hunter in the room to help with policy. The fact that he needed Jill to help with policy and his aunt to help, Valerie to help with policy. Or help with policy.
So I wanted to play this cut too. We were talking about doing a 9 o'clock hour, but it really works here because it really sets up how unhinged this guy is. But I want to reference this. So I was listening last night. I was catching a little bit of Jesse Kelly. I was having to make a run to go grab something for the kids. And he brought up a future administration, an imaginary future administration. And one of the things he said was, let's say that Hunter Biden is the Attorney General.
Oh, my God.
Okay, you laugh. Is he an attorney? Yeah. I mean, by trade. Is he part of the Biden legacy? Yeah. Are leftist communists above doing favors like this for their friends? Now, granted, it'd be real hard to get through the entire process.
Do you ever see Better Call Saul?
Yes.
He asked that question. He's like, do you want a criminal defense attorney or a criminal defense attorney?
Okay. So that's the hypothetical. It's that what if he was ever the Attorney General? And remember, if you have, when you go through that process within the Senate, and if it's, let's just say it flips and it becomes largely Democrat, okay, this could happen.
Certainly is plausible.
Certainly is plausible that this is how they reward him. Remember, we're going to take care of your... Joe was told his family would be taken care of on the way out. And this is what was going to happen. So hypothetically, I now want you to have that. Attorney General Hunter Biden. Now I want you to hear how he views everyone.
Opinions. But him and everybody around him don't have to be nice. Number one, I agree with Quentin Tarantino. George Clooney is not a actor. He is a I don't know what he is. He's a brand. And by the way, and God bless him. You know what? He supposedly treats his friends really well. You know what I mean? Buys them things. And he's got a really great place in Lake Como. And he's great friends with Barack Obama. You, what do you have to do with anything? Why do I have to listen to you? What right do you have to step on a man who's given 52 years of his life to the service of this country and decide that you, George Clooney, are going to take out basically a full-page ad in the New York Times to me and James Carville, who hasn't run a race in 40 years, and David Axelrod, who had one success in his political life, and that was Barack Obama. And that was because of Barack Obama, not because of David Axelrod and David Plouffe and all of these guys and the Pod Save America guys who were junior speechwriters on Barack Obama's Senate staff, who have been dining out on the relationship with him for years, making millions of dollars. The Anita Dunns of the world, who's made $40-50 million off the Democratic Party. They're all going to insert their judgment over a man who has figured out, unlike anybody else, how to get elected to the United States Senate over 7 times, how to pass more legislation than any president in history, how to have a better midterm election than anybody in history, and how to garner more votes than any president that has ever run. And they're going to replace their judgment for his.
He going to arrest a lot of people.
That is a very angry guy.
You see George Clooney in handcuffs. He's going after George Clooney. He goes
first. After Clooney, Anita Dunn. They've got a list. They've got a list.
They do. But, we talked about, is it better to arrest Barack Obama because that's the right thing, or do you arrest everybody around him and not give them the political win by arresting Barack Obama? Hunter Biden would not care. He would arrest George Clooney on the spot and dare the world to even say a word.
When you give the communist power, this is what they do. They have a list.
Mm-hmm. Yes,
and they have no problem executing said list.
You remember Billy Madison?
Yeah.
When Steve Buscemi's character
having to mark through the people to kill. Here's the list. I mean, just consider. We'll do the joke because I got it the other day when that guy that we played the audio when he was going after Obama and he said the audacity.
Yeah.
Referring to the audacity of hope. Right. Imagine the audacity of having Donald Trump on your list at the top. A president, former president. You don't think that that list exists and they will stop at nothing to get at anybody? That's why you have to do this.
Yeah,
you
that list
have
isn't going
to
away.
gut this entire group out of there. Because one of these days, when there is a Hunter Biden there, he's got to be like, yeah, you don't do that because the last guy that did that, they all went to prison.
Right. And if you don't, maybe it's not Hunter. Let's say it's not Hunter and you're hypothetical.
Whoever it is.
It's Hunter adjacent. Let's say it's one of his kids that rise up through the ranks of politics. And then he's had a lifelong axe to grind.
You don't do it because remember when Barack Obama had those people and Joe Biden had those people and they all went to prison? That's why you've got to do it.
That's right.
So that next person who has a list and who's out for blood, they stop short because they go, dude, went to prison for 7 years.
Yeah.
Federal, there is no such thing as parole.
Yeah.
It's like,
you in.
Yeah, you're in. Like, here's your term. You're doing the whole thing.
What was Martha Stewart, was she federal?
Yes, but she also, I mean, it was I
know, it's totally different. She was, it was like insider trading or something, wasn't it?
Sort
something
of.
Like that.
It's very flimsy, but she had to do the time.
Right, she did.
There was no such thing as like house arrest.
Yeah, right.
Similar to like a Michael Vick, he did the whole 2 years.
Yeah, he did Leavenworth.
He did Leavenworth.
That's the thing. Where do they fall? Because that's the other thing I want to know when we get them, if we do. Like, I don't want them to get the Martha Stewart treatment. I want them to get the Michael Vick treatment. I want them to have the full Monty. I want them to get it all. I want them to experience all of it, dude. And I think everybody listening right now feels the exact same way. They should get what they deserve. And if that's stopping short of Barack, there's nothing in me, though I know you're exactly right. Politically, there's nothing in me that would, if I had the chance, would stop at Barack Obama or stop below Barack Obama. He would be included because that's what's right in the world. That would be justice served. Call, man. Just how filthy. Going back to the discussion we had a little bit earlier, just how filthy the last 4 years, the last 8 years, last 10 years have been.
Yeah, it starts to
absolutely gross.
You do the math on it. And you just start checking boxes and go, well, are they willing to do this?
Yes.
Yeah. Are they willing to? Yeah.
There's nothing that they're not willing to do.
How far will they go? Yeah.
There's no bridge too far.
Like at one point, Joe Biden, and whether it's Joe Biden or somebody with that auto pen, somebody decided that while on the campaign trail, Donald Trump required less Secret Service attention and that his wife required more.
And then just so happens
he gets shot.
There's someone shooting at him at the exact same moment when you said you didn't have enough Secret Service agents to protect him.
No, I'm not saying one caused the other.
Oh, you what? I am.
But what I am saying is that if you were ever hopeful that somebody would be able to assassinate a former president, you would probably want to set up the conditions.
Which they did. They set up the conditions perfectly.
So tell me what level they won't stoop to.
There's not one.
There isn't one.
No level that they won't stoop to, including violence and inciting violence. I mean, obviously Butler and then Ryan Ruth.
What?
But having those 25 different representatives in the Democrat Party saying our constituents want blood.
There is no bridge too far.
That's right.
And when all of the left goes nuts about Epstein this, Epstein that, Epstein whatever. Remember, this is still the administration that ran or turned their back on the largest child sex trafficking operation in history into this country, where 300,000 children were brought here. And you want to tell me you're concerned about people on Epstein Island?
Yeah.
You let 300,000 kids in what? So far, the administration's like, we've got 30,000.
Yeah. And the stories of apparently they gave the kids a hotline that they could call if there was anything dangerous or they didn't feel comfortable. There were 69,000 calls to the hotline that never had a follow-up.
Don't tell me that there is some level that they won't stoop to, because we've seen it. It was right in your face. And I know at some point with politics we can get jaded. We're just like, okay, fine, just enough. This was, again, the grossest administration that we've had in the history of this country. By far, by every single measure.
Every measure. That's exactly right, dude. I've never seen anything like it. You've never seen anything like it. We hope we never, ever see again anything like it.
And then there's Hunter, who's like, they're all horrible. Like, you were part of it too.
No. Yeah, isn't it beautiful how he excludes himself?
It makes it really hard to imagine that, I don't know, during a crack binge, I would possibly forget a laptop in 2019 at some repair shop. Like, it's hard when you listen to him to go, that guy's so with it, I can't imagine that ever happened.
Or having prostitutes running in and out of his room that you see on video. I mean, it's just the filth, the low down, and no good for nothing that we just lived through. What we lost in the last several years that might actually be good for us as a country. Next on the Morning Extra, 8 o'clock hour, brought to you by Central Heating and Air Conditioning, your Atlanta Carrier experts. 770-GET-HEAT, centralheat.com.
The latest sports news, powered by 680 The Fan and driven to extra listeners by RBM of Atlanta in Sandy Springs, Atlanta's Mercedes-Benz connection since 1964.
Good morning. Here are your sports headlines for Tuesday, July 22nd. The Atlanta Braves took the opening game of their 3-game series against the San Francisco Giants at Truist Park. 9-5, the final. Game 2 is set for tonight. It'll be Davis Daniel set to make the start for the Braves. Landon Raup on the mound for the Giants. First pitch is set for 7:15. You can hear that game live on our sister station's brand new app, 680 The Fan. From the NFL, the season is nearly here. The Falcons will open training camp this week from Flowery Branch with the first on-field workouts beginning on Thursday. With your sports headlines, I'm Carlos Medina.
The summer's got you thinking about hitting the road. And with back to school right around the corner, you need a vehicle built for the road and safe enough for the family. And Subaru of Gwinnett has it for you. Like the 2025 Subaru Outback, which will take you as far as you want to explore with standard symmetrical all-wheel drive, plus up to 32 miles per gallon. And if you're up for adventure, it'll get you off the beaten path with up to 9.5 inches of ground clearance, more than the Honda CR-V or Toyota RAV4. Or the 2025 Subaru Forester, the SUV for all you love. It's the right-sized SUV for all the adventures ahead, with a spacious and comfortable interior for everyone you want to bring along. And no matter where adventure takes you, it starts on Satellite Boulevard in Duluth with the amazing staff at Subaru of Gwinnett. They'll help you find the Subaru that you'll love and be there every step of the way for everything you need. Start your shopping online at SubaruofGwinnett.com.
Advisory services offered through Master Plan Retirement Consultants, Inc., a registered investment advisory in the state of Georgia. Insurance, tax, and commodity services offered through Fricks & Associates, Inc., DBA Master Plan Retirement Consultants. The aforementioned are affiliated companies.
Retirement means different things to different people. Some folks want to travel the world. Some folks want to spend more time with grandkids. For me, I'm looking forward to spending more time with my guitar. Whether extravagant and robust or simple and cozy, every retirement needs a plan. You wouldn't take a trip without directions. You have to know where you are before you know where you're going. Master Plan Retirement Consultants have helped many like you plan for their own retirement. Not only does Master Plan help you create the roadmap, they join you on the journey. So whether you want to travel the world, become a pickleball champ, or just looking for a good porch, a sturdy rocking chair, and an acoustic guitar, remember to plan well, because the destination is worth it. Visit masterplanretire.com to schedule your complimentary consultation today.
Neil Bortz here. Maybe you've already taken the steps to improve your health, maybe save your life. You're using a CPAP for your sleep apnea. I've been using one for well over 20 years. So right now I'm here to tell you about a source for CPAPs and CPAP supplies here in the Atlanta area. CPAPs, etc. They're in Alpharetta. They have whatever you need. Roddy and Sharon are your CPAP experts, and they'll ship nationwide. More information, CPAPs, etc. TTC.com.
Hi, I'm Chris Lalamia, owner of the Trusted Toolbox. Are home repairs piling up? Are you feeling overwhelmed? Relax. We've got you covered. From drywall dings and leaky faucets to deck repairs and trim replacement, we're your one-stop shop for everything for your home needs. No more juggling multiple contractors. Just call us at the Trusted Toolbox and we'll handle it. Your home deserves the best, and we don't want you breaking your back trying. Call the Trusted Toolbox today at 770-623-3097 or visit us at thetrustedtoolbox.com. The Trusted Toolbox, your one-stop shop for home repairs and more.
Hey, this is Matt from East Cobb. We basically bought our house from our in-laws. It was my wife's childhood home. One of the issues that we've had when we first moved in was our dog in our backyard. It was extremely shaded, could never grow grass back there. We resodded it twice. So ATL Turf Co. did an amazing job with our backyard transformation. They basically created a miniature golf hole. We have a miniature fairway. We also have a miniature little putting green. Consists of about 4 holes, total about 40 yards, so you can definitely work on your short game and your putting. After that transformation that ATL Turf Co. did for us, my father-in-law came and saw his house the way it looked after the fact of we had a putting green and a miniature golf course. Sure enough, he did the same thing with ATL Turf Co. He has a beautiful backyard, wonderful stonework, drainage, and a beautiful practice area for chipping and putting. Check him out online at atlturfco.com.
Extra 1063 personalities aren't afraid to tell it like it is.
Without Donald Trump, nothing that's going on would be happening right now. Donald Trump is changing the world.
And you'll never hear us spew that violent rhetoric from the left. So don't be afraid to tell it like it is, because we're happy to have you as part of the Extra community.
I particularly like Donald Trump's actions in getting illegal aliens the hell out of this country.
Extra 1063 and the Extra app.
Oftentimes when actors speak, I immediately tune out. I've shared with you many times, I'm not much of a movie guy or a TV guy. I'm a music guy. I listen to it from the time I get up to the time I go to bed. So the things that people say in Hollywood don't really have an effect on me because I usually ignore them. And when they do speak and I hear them, I'm like, wow, how out of touch are you? How wrong could you possibly be? Enter actor Jeff Daniels. This is
I like Jeff Daniels too.
Yeah, he's hard not to like. I mean,
he's hilarious. He's dramatic.
All those things.
He's really good.
All those things.
I can appreciate his work.
Yeah, me too. In Dumb and Dumber.
He gave you a classic.
Yeah,
he's given you a multitude of classics.
Yes, he
and
has.
nobody has a better face of, uh-oh, I'm about to die than Jeff Daniels in Speed. He steps in the room and he's like, and this place is going to explode.
Yeah, boom. But, yeah, he's awful concerned about Donald Trump's second term, Los.
So Jeff Daniels now, and obviously an intelligent guy, but did you ever see The Newsroom on HBO?
I didn't. But this the one with Reese Witherspoon in there?
This was an Aaron Sorkin production.
Oh, I'm thinking of the morning show. I think with Reese and
this is 2012 to 2014.
Okay,
so they did a handful of seasons, and Jeff Daniels does this one speech during it where he shows up at like a college campus and he starts talking about where America is, and that's like the most famous speech from the show. And he basically is talking about why liberals lose. And that's what he was doing. But he's the liberal news anchor, but he's telling about why they lose. And so since that time period, now he's always invited to be that guy who kind of gives a political commentary. First off, Jeff Daniels, bright guy, he was playing a character, y'all.
Yeah, right.
Okay, he was playing a character. Now, what I'll tell you, when we talked about this being the most chaotic and the most corrupt administration that we just finished living through, Jeff Daniels remembers it rather differently than I do. And so what he's about to tell you is all the things that are wrong with this current administration under Donald Trump. What I will tell you is everything he's pointing out was exactly what was happening for 4 years. Take a listen.
We've lost decency. We've lost civility. We've lost respect for the rule of law. Lost it. We have normalized verbal abuse on the internet. We've normalized bullying, much as the woke generation tried to, change that. It's back. And out the window goes character, integrity. I mean, nobody has great things to say about politicians. They never have. Go back to Mark Twain. But ideally, we're supposed to elect the best of us, not the worst of us. He's everything that's wrong with not just America, but with being a human being.
Is he talking about Obama?
No.
Is he talking about Biden?
No.
Has to be, Los.
The administration under Barack Obama and then continuing into Joe Biden introduced something that I never thought we'd really see in this country in a massive way. Authoritarianism. You do this or else. That's never been part of America. Now you can say, well, pay your taxes or else. Okay, well, that's something that we have voted on. That's something that has gone through legislation. That is something where my representatives represented me on. Here's how this is going to be. Hey, do this or this. A draft, okay? That went through Congress. That was voted on. Here's how it's legal. Never was there any vote on, you better take the shot or you're losing your job.
You are not essential.
That's authoritarianism. That's wild. And then as he continues with all of his, and we lost this, and we've lost this, and we've lost this. I'm like, you lost that years ago. I sat through the Biden administration that was doing everything that you just pointed out was part of what we were dealing with.
Civility. I brought up civility in the way that Joe Biden spoke to me as an American and you, labeling you a threat to democracy. He said 50% of the country is an absolute threat to democracy in a speech in Philadelphia. Was there some civility there that I missed? Was he being civil when he delivered that? Because it didn't seem civil. It didn't feel civil. Respect for the rule of law, boy, that's rich.
That was hilarious. And then, of course, the verbal abuse. Hold on. Time out. I still recall you introduced censorship.
Well, and
on the internet of all places.
And actually, he even specifies we want to lock down the internet. He even says that when he talks about. He's basically saying we want to censor people on the internet.
Out the window goes character. Hold on a second. You actually had an administration where they gave cover to a vegetable, a man that they referred to in the intelligence circles as the vegetable, in order to cover up for his crackhead son. Don't tell me about character integrity. All right? Like, out the window. And what is it that they'll always go back to about Donald Trump? Epstein. Okay. All right. So I hope one day you can prove that they were associates or friends. I'm out to prove that you're a treasonous bastard.
We normalize
That's what I'm doing.
Verbal abuse on the internet. That's the line.
No, that's called free speech.
That's exactly right. But
I can verbally abuse you all day or not at all.
He's not in favor of free speech.
No.
Because he sees that as a hindrance.
No authoritarian is.
Right. He sees that as a hindrance.
He's just upset that they're out of power. That's all. That's all.
Poor Jeff Daniels. Who would have thought?
And I like Jeff Daniels. You know, at one point I'm going to play that speech for you, and you'll go, wow, that sounds really good.
But he's playing a character.
It's a character.
As you pointed out.
It was a character.
See, they lose me, man. They just when I want to jump back in, they lose me. I wanted to go see the new Superman. The director says all the stupid crap, and I'm out. I want to like Jeff Daniels because he's been funny over the years, or he's done some interesting stuff over the years, and he just alienates me immediately. I don't love TV and movies enough to care about him, to care about James Gunn, to care about the character Superman. I don't. They always alienate me.
Have you noticed when you watch Wrexham, have you picked up yet that there is some Hollywood liberalism that is part of what they bring to the table, but it's not in your face?
Give me an example. What do you mean?
Well, for instance,
because I haven't picked up on it yet, and I'm glad.
Well, no, like there's. No, I would say this. they are constantly looking for who to hire to create diversity within their organization, everything else like that. But at no point is it like in your face. Like the fact that they seek out a woman for this role, but she's highly qualified.
Yeah,
but they wanted that as part. But that's like, it's not. You're not being told. The reason why we did this is because of this, and if we didn't do it, well, then y'all are evil. It's like, no, it's there. It's what they're looking to add, but it's not in your face.
Here's the thing. It's their company. They can do anything they want.
Right, but it's different when it's put in your face.
It is. And the other thing I would say is you do what you want with your business. That's the beauty of being in business and owning a business. There's a difference when the government says you must do this.
And so when you watch that show, just because here's their values, but it's not it's not in your face. It's
I agree
just
with
the
you.
way that way they run their business with what their belief system is, but it's not in your face. And so you watch it from an entertainment standpoint and you're like, cool, we're good.
That's exactly right. And the show has such heart. I'm drawn to that naturally. So Los has turned me on to Welcome to Wrexham.
Finally.
I'm on episode 4 of season 1.
You get some work to do.
I do. But I have to watch it in basically by myself.
Just tell that wife of yours.
I know.
That's what I'm doing.
I can't believe she's not interested. She loved Ted Lasso. Anyway, which is like a real life Ted Lasso playing out in front of you, and it has huge heart. When we continue, the W's keep racking up. Are you tired of winning yet? Probably not. Me neither. Next on Extra.
Time for the Bortz Report, exclusively on Atlanta's only conservative news and talk station, Extra 106.3.
You want to be instantly bored? Well, listen to people talking about what they were doing when Neil Armstrong first set foot on the moon. I was sitting in front of a TV at 6980 Roswell Road in absolute awe. Now, if you don't want to be bored, go on the internet, go to Facebook, go to pretty much any Facebook page that celebrates our arrival on the moon and read the comments from the idiots, the imbeciles out there who believe it was all fake. No, really, these people exist. And if you can get by their mental issues, they're really quite entertaining. I really wish somebody would do a documentary on this. Netflix, maybe, like their Poop Cruise documentary, which I highly recommend. What do these people really believe? Well, of course, the Earth is flat, and it's covered by some sort of a dome that they call the firmament. And what keeps the oceans from running off the flat Earth? Why, we are surrounded by a circle of ice, a big ice wall that holds the water in. Do we have pictures of it? No, because the military protects it as a no-go zone. Buzz Aldrin admitted they didn't go to the moon. No, he didn't. Same for Neil Armstrong. Neither did he. I love this one. Planes don't dip their nose. Commercial flights never account for curvature. There's something called Airy's failure. In 1871, an attempt to prove Earth's motion using water-filled telescope concluded the stars move, not the Earth. Oh, I forgot to tell you, they also believe the Earth is stationary and everything circles the Earth. Take a break from today's news. Explore the flat Earth people on the internet today. Great fun. Neil Bortz, Extra 106.3.
The Kimmer Show is only on Extra 106.3 every weekday afternoon on your drive home.
Again, I have seen like 4 minutes of Field of Dreams. I'm sorry.
What's wrong with you?
I know it's wrong.
It'll make you cry in a good way.
I do that every night anyway.
That's better than Ambien.
Well, yeah, you know. Cry myself to sleep.
The Kimmer Show, every afternoon from 3 to 6 p.m. on Extra 106.3 and the Extra app. WFOM and W292 EV Marietta, a Dickey Broadcasting Station. The 9 a.m. hour is presented by Southern Exteriors. Quality and precision you can rely on.
An update to a simmering controversy President Trump calls a hoax.
I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. Even though the Justice Department stands by an FBI conclusion that Jeffrey Epstein did not leave behind a client list when he committed suicide in jail, it announced this morning it will seek more answers, as Trump supporters who have upset the president keep demanding all the Epstein files be released.
Deputy Attorney General Todd Blanche said in a social media post that he's communicating with lawyers for Ghislaine Maxwell and says he anticipates meeting with her, quote, in the coming days. Maxwell was convicted of helping financier Jeffrey Epstein run a trafficking ring of young girls and was sentenced to 20 years in prison in 2022. Last week, the DOJ asked a federal court to unseal the grand jury transcripts in the Epstein case following President Trump's call for it.
Fox's Tanya J. Powers. A Maxwell attorney just told Fox that she'll testify truthfully and thanked President Trump for a commitment to uncover the truth. Martin Luther King Jr.'s family is not happy that a few 100,000 files have been declassified and made public 57 years after his assassination. The King family is urging people to view the info in a historical context. Iran is open to negotiating with the U.S. Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi tells Fox's Brett Baer,
if the purpose of these talks is to achieve a deal in which Iran commits itself permanently not to go for nuclear weapons, that deal is achievable.
As he admits, U.S. airstrikes a month ago left their nuclear facilities seriously damaged.
President Trump celebrated that news on Truth Social. The White House has been defending the strikes after a preliminary intelligence assessment last month stated they did not do as much damage as the administration had hoped. Because of the damages, Iran's foreign minister admits they have not been able to refine nuclear fuel, but he also indicates Iran will resume its enrichment program.
Fox's Madeline Rivera at the White House, where in 2 hours, President Trump will meet with the Philippines leader discussing China, security, and trade. America's listening to Fox News.
Living with everyday pain is like having a voice that always says, no, you can't do that. No, you better sit this one out. It's no way to live. So if pain is affecting you, see how Relief Factor can help get you back to life on your terms. One where you say yes a lot more. Relief Factor is a daily supplement that fights pain naturally. Developed by doctors, Relief Factor's unique formula of natural ingredients does not just mask pain, it helps reduce or eliminate it for good. Whether it's your back, neck, joints, or muscles, Relief Factor can help you, as it has for so many others. So call 1-800-4RELIEF and give Relief Factor's 3-week quick start a try. It's only $19.95, less than $1 a day to get your life back. Just go to ReliefFactor.com or call 1-800-4RELIEF. That's 1-800-4RELIEF. And see how you can say yes to more of everything you want.
Look out, it's only me. It's only the Kimmer. You know, you can download the Kimmer podcast on the Xtra 106.3 app, along with a ton of other great shows. Go get it, for crying out loud, now on Apple or Android.
I may say an inflammatory thing here. Def Leppard Hysteria. That this song came from, Pour Some Sugar on Me. Huge hit. Best record of the 1980s. It even outdoes Thriller by Michael Jackson. That is my opinion.
That's a strong one.
That is my opinion of this record.
Van Halen 1984 is up there for me.
Great Slippery When Wet is really good too.
Slippery When Wet, great record. This is the greatest record of the 80s.
Well, I have good news for you.
Yes.
If you'd like, you can go see Def Leppard in Las Vegas, doing a big residency next year.
Be fun, man.
At Caesars.
I got to see them a couple times over across the street.
Saw them in Austin. They were good.
They are so good. Still to this day, so good. And this hook is unbelievable. Dude, if that don't get fired up, I don't know what will. God, so good.
Okay, so just a note, because this is the only reason I have not considered seeing U2 in forever. However,
have you seen them before?
I've seen them one other time.
Okay, so I've never seen them.
When they did the Joshua Tree anniversary, they were going to play the entirety front to back of Joshua Tree.
Yeah, that'd be great.
That's one of them, a record from the 80s where I'm like, I'm on board.
Absolutely.
Let's do this start to finish.
Yeah.
Did you see any video of what they did at the Sphere?
Yeah, some of the stuff. Yeah,
they were one of the first ones that went out there.
I think they were the first. They were the first.
They the very first
one?
one?
I think so, yeah. Some friends of ours went out to see the show and said it was remarkable. They had a great video. Just great.
Incredible.
Yeah. Zach Brown Band just announced a residency, a 4-night residency at the Sphere.
Zach Brown Band.
Love some ZBB.
Man, I've been to so many shows over the years, and I'm a little jaded on them. I've seen them, just about every band that I can think of that I want to see, except Metallica.
Yeah.
Didn't get to do that this last time around.
That's because we got soft.
Yeah.
We got soft.
But the Sphere, I think that would just be a completely different experience. I would love to go to the Sphere.
Yeah, everybody is so far who's been to a show at the Sphere said it's like nothing you've seen before. The only thing, the other venue I'd like to go to would be Red Rocks. I would like to see a show.
Never
there.
been?
Never been.
Red Rocks is amazing.
Yeah, never been out there. Want to. Eric Church just wrapped up a 3-night stay at Red Rocks.
Red Rocks.
And it was, the last night poured down rain,
Yes.
and it did not matter. It was unbelievable. Have you ever been out there?
No, it looks really awesome.
Would you ever want to go?
I'd go see a show at Red Rocks.
What they don't tell you about Red Rocks is so you're looking down at the stage, it's pretty steep, and behind that is the town of Morrison. So you're seeing all of the lights. I mean, you can see for miles and miles. And I was out there to see Queens of the Stone Age.
Wow.
And it wasn't raining on us, but there was a storm out over the town. So you got the light. I mean, you got the light
lightning show.
but then you got the real light show going on in the background.
Freaky.
That was
is
amazing.
So cool, man.
Is it weird that as I've gotten older, I have a strange fear of being struck by lightning? Like I hear thunder.
Weird. I don't know if it's weird.
That's one of those ones.
I think it's pretty natural.
If it's going to come get you, it's going to come get you.
Yeah, but if I'm inside, I'm not encouraging it.
Right, you're not tempting fate.
It's like jumping out of a perfectly good airplane. I'm like, what are the chances of dying while skydiving? Well, it's 0 if you don't skydive.
Yeah, right. I don't think that's a weird fear. I think that's a really, really normal fear. I think that one's built in.
I just feel like I have this very conductive body. Like I'm the person that every now and then will reach out for, like I always try and touch metal when I go to the pump, because there have been times where I've reached out and the static electricity, I've seen it jump from my fingertip.
Watch it arc.
Just zzz,
yeah,
I'm like, oh.
Yeah,
like,
and they have the little warnings
about static electricity.
Yeah.
Yes.
Grounded.
So yes, I think your fear is grounded in just human life and experience.
I feel that if there was ever going to be someone who was struck by lightning,
it'd be you.
It'd be me. And then we had a neighbor in our neighborhood where they had a tree struck by lightning. That thing, guys, it was like the bark came off like complete pieces. Like imagine like 10-foot pieces, and it was like a banana.
Wow.
It looked crazy.
Have you ever had it strike your house or really right on top of your house?
Next to our house.
Yeah, really close.
So I had it probably 7 or 8 years ago, my old place. Struck my neighbor's house right on the corner, went down it came in on the sconce on their back door, and then ran down the house and exploded their motion light. Didn't even knock the power out in my house. I mean, it shook everything, but it went up into the cable and got my TV. And I was asking the electrician who was helping me repair my TV, I was like, how does this work? He's like, lightning is basically magic. It just does whatever it wants to do. It doesn't follow rules. It goes where it wants.
Great explanation.
Just because of where we moved to, it seems like we're catching a lot more storms. I don't know if maybe this is just me going like, okay, now we live kind of up on a little elevated hill a little bit versus we were down at the end of a cul-de-sac in the past. And I feel like we get weather that comes in a lot harder where I'm at now. So I did get the whole home surge protector.
Smart.
Yep.
Just to be attached, just so if we ever do catch one of those things, it doesn't fry all of your electronics. I don't know how well it'll work. We'll find out
Yeah,
whenever
exactly.
it's hit.
Let me tell you, our neighbor got hit, and it sounded like a bomb went off.
Yeah.
And it fried, strangely enough, just everything in my studio, in my home studio. The mixer, the computers, the Comrex, which is a device that we use to
allow us to broadcast and talk between different studios.
It's just a technical piece of equipment, but it fried everything in that room, but only that room.
Yeah,
About a month and a half on the wall. I mean, anything that was in that small room, that small studio, was dead.
It was toast.
Everything else in the house, just fine. That's the magic you're talking about.
A month ago, we had a big storm come through Woodstock, and lightning struck just right behind our neighborhood, fried everybody's modems, but none of the actual power stuff went wrong. I think it just had to do, it might have struck just the cable line.
It's crazy.
Lightning is magic.
Absolutely is. This is the Morning Extra, Tug and Los, along with Jure on Extra 106.3. Thank you for always showing up. Thank you for being here. I can't say that enough, and I try to make sure that I go out of my way to tell you how much we appreciate you being here. And being part of the show at Extra 106.3 and 404-741-1230 is the number if you want to jump into the conversation. Are you tired of winning? Donald Trump said he would make you tired of winning. I don't know that he has that ability. He's able to do a lot of things. He's gonna make this economy roar. I believe it. The tariffs they told you were just going to be a disaster. They weren't. Everything that they've told you about Donald Trump has been wrong. Carolyn Levitt, that's not falling on deaf ears with her. She wants to remind you the list of Trump's wins, and think about this in 6 months' time.
In 6 months' time, the president has delivered on those two core campaign promises. Inflation is now running at a 2.1% annual rate. You look at our southern border, look at the numbers. Just last month, 0 illegal aliens were released into our country. And then look at what the president has done on the world stage. He has ended wars like India and Pakistan. He continues to work aggressively to end the war in Russia and Ukraine. He completely obliterated Iran's nuclear sites. He has continued to hopefully negotiate a ceasefire between Israel and Gaza to end that conflict and release all of the hostages. We've seen many of the hostages released as a result of this president's efforts. And this president is working around the clock every day to deliver on the promises he made. You also look at some of the cultural issues, to abolish DEI from our federal government and our military, to effectively end men and women's sports, which is a huge common sense policy that the American people support. And then if you look at the president's strong executive orders that have effectively ended the chemical castration of young children in our country. Just today, Washington, D.C. Children's Hospital in this city has announced they are no longer going to be prescribing puberty blockers to minors. This is a huge win for America and our children. There's certainly more work to do, and the president is doing it right now, and he will continue for the next 3.5 years. But certainly we've accomplished so much in just 6 months.
God. I knew Donald Trump was going to be a success. There was no doubt in my mind because I saw his first term. I saw what he was able to accomplish with one hand tied behind his back because he was fighting the deep state the entire time.
He had a Congress that was really looking to Russian collusion. He had Paul Ryan, who is not a fan. They gave him the tax cuts, but besides that, he also had an administration around him. By his own admittance, he hired the wrong people. It's just what happened. Those errors have been corrected. Now you see what happens when you have a business guy. That's basically what he is. Reality star, mogul, business guy. Business guy pushing everybody to accomplish everything they can at light speed.
The cultural issues, I love the fact that she brought up the cultural issues because those matter to me. Not seeing boys competing against and taking opportunity away from girls, which I thought never in a million years would I hear those words coming out of my mouth. Maybe because I would never have thought there would need to be those words coming out of my mouth. But I don't even have daughters. But I have nieces.
There's still value there.
I still have nieces. I have a dear friend in Front Office Los who has daughters.
And I appreciate what he's done there.
And me too, man. I care about those things. Not doing damage to children that are having a mental issue at a hospital, where the HIPAA oath or the not HIPAA oath, the oath that doctors take, whatever it's called.
Yeah, the Hippocratic oath.
It is. Okay, I'm right about that. Is to do no harm, and yet they were taking kids in there knowing the harm that it was going to make, but it didn't matter to them because it had dollar signs attached to it.
The concern that we have, and actually, let me rephrase that. The concern that they have, I'm not that concerned about it, is that in 6 months, 6 short months, here's what has occurred. What happens over 3.5 years? And that's why they're trying to throw up every single possible roadblock possible. That's why they're now like, let's consider. Now it's, how many Epstein things can we bring up? Are you kidding me? You had those files for 4 years. You're telling me your biggest weapon against Donald Trump you didn't roll out?
Not a chance.
Come on.
Stop
kidding me.
Not a chance.
Stop kidding me with this sort of stuff. You know what they have found? What they're now doing. We're now in the Kavanaugh phase of this stuff. Now they're going to start finding people to start telling crazy stories about Donald Trump. And whether they're Epstein related or not, that's the fate, because the Democrats have a very small playbook. And you've seen it happen. on Clarence Thomas. You saw it with Brett Kavanaugh. You're now going to see this with Donald Trump. They've tried everything, including trying to shoot him. And now it's going to turn into, let's try and disparage the character to see who will go along with this stuff.
Character assassination.
That's what they're going to try and do. And again, because they just don't have a lot of options. What are they going to do?
They've been trying that for 10 years,
He keeps winning.
They've been trying the character assassination for 10 years.
I know. It's just rinse and repeat. Remember,
they have no new ideas.
We had Russian collusion to start 2016 into 2017. What have we gone to now? Epstein hoax.
Yeah, right.
It's almost like somebody, I always talk about having a big old bag of nothing. All right, their bag has like 4 things in it.
Yeah.
And once they've exhausted the 4th one, the 5th one's like assassination. They don't go to that bag a lot. But once they've gone, think about it. They actually pulled out of the bag. Pandemic.
Yeah, right.
Okay, you use that gag. All right, we got to do another gag. Well, you've used all your gags, including assassination. So now you're back around to, well, let's try character again.
Got to rinse and repeat. Got to figure something out.
So in the meantime, Donald Trump just goes, all right, let's just keep it moving.
While in the meantime, Donald Trump is working around the clock. Did you hear what Carolyn Levin said? Think about how many times they said Donald Trump has sent emails and texts and made phone calls at 2 and 3 in the morning because he does not sleep. He works on behalf of the American people. And I always feel like I got to preface it. I don't worship at the altar of Trump, but I cannot miss.
I appreciate it.
The fact that he's doing that, and I want to see what he's able to accomplish because I believe he loves the country like I do. And when he's taken on these cultural issues or these issues that we deal with as a country, when we want to jumpstart the economy, when we want to have interest rates lower, when we want to have people being able to buy homes and send their kids to school and not have to pinch every penny like they have done in the last 4 years, more like when he was in office the first time, I'm damn happy he's working around the clock.
So this weekend is going to be the wife's birthday, and there's a couple of her college friends that are going to be part of the little entourage crew they're going out with. And a couple of them, I was like, hey, they're coming from an hour away, hour and a half away. I was like, have them stay over. And that invariably turns into, we end up in the basement and everybody just starts drinking and chatting.
Yeah, right. Having a good time.
And I'm just going to wait. I'm going to be sitting there lying in wait for this moment. And I'm going to try to create a moment where we can have a little bit of symmetry where we all kind of see eye to eye. And my point is going to be this. Take Donald Trump out of the equation. Whatever you think about it, whatever your personality is it not great to have a commander-in-chief again? Where at 3 o'clock in the morning, this person is working for you, or when there's a nuclear threat in the world, he's taking it out.
He's not afraid to use the might of the military to do what's good for the United States.
When there's conflict breaking out, he's the one negotiating peace. Like, these are the things we were missing for almost 5 years, where all that was there was an auto pen. That's not democracy. That's not a republic. That's not the way this was constructed. It was never supposed to be part of a committee that makes a decision. It was always supposed to fall on a executive. And here's my chief executive. Here's the commander-in-chief. And now we have one again. And we're in a better place because of that.
Amen, we are. What if Donald Trump wasn't elected? Can you imagine where we would be sitting right now?
Be same committee rule.
Nothing would change. The weaponization of the federal government would still be happening. The fact that we would have a board of directors, a group of people, select group of people that were running everything and making every decision. And you think Joe Biden was bad? Because he had dementia. It was bad. Think about how much worse Kamala Harris. She couldn't even put it together with the prompter in front of her. At least Joe could.
With 10,000 a day pouring in. We were on the brink. I'm telling you, we were teetering. The republic was this close to being lost.
Los called it a banana republic at the time, and I'll tell you, it made me shiver to my core the first time I heard him say it. And now looking back, he couldn't have been more correct. And you and I were teetering on not having a republic. We wouldn't have had anything. They were going to destroy it. That is the plan. They want to tear it down so something else can spring up from it. You've heard that 1,000 times. You've heard it from Barack Obama. You've heard it from AOC. When we continue on Extra 106.3, Hunter Biden's unhinged interview shows you everything that was wrong with the last 4 years, kind of along the lines of the things we've been talking about. Plus, there has been those files released. Talk about those next on Extra 2.
Your favorite Extra shows are streaming live video from the studio on Extra 106.3's YouTube channel. Subscribe to the Extra YouTube channel and get the Morning Extra and the Kimmer Show in live digital video.
Hey, it's Los. Let's talk about True Prep, one of my favorite places out there. You can always go over to the store, 1000 Cobb Parkway in Marietta, or go online as well, trueprep.com. Now, why do I dig True Prep? Because when it comes to prepping, I like food storage. That is my jam. I make sure to have plenty of stuff on hand for just in case. Never know about weather, never know about crazy scenarios. I just want to be ready. I dealt with Hurricane Michael. That taught me if you're not ready for a crazy situation, then you're in trouble when it happens. That is how I get ready for this stuff. If you're an outdoor enthusiast, they have plenty of equipment. Or if you're talking about home security or personal security when you are around town, True Prep can help you there as well. You can go to their website, trueprep.com. They have their used guns and gear as well as their sales and clearance items and their event workshops. Now, what are those? That is where True Prep will get you educated. If you want to learn how to prep, they can help you there. Or one of their big ones that has now been going on, coming up again August 3rd and then again on August 24th. That is the first time gun buyers workshop. That is where they're going to basically walk you through the process. They're going to be able to show you the right firearm. They're going to help you be able to secure that legally. And then they're going to help you when it comes to being able to store that and take care of that in a safe fashion. That is part of the process. Again, August 3rd and August 24th for the first time gun buyers forum. You're able to have that workshop. Go to trueprep.com. That's truprep.com. Prepare today for a worry-free tomorrow with True Prep.
A study by Allianz Life reveals that 63% of Americans harbor the fear of running out of money in retirement. With that, let's turn to Coach Pete. Coach, what about the word safe?
Safe. Big word. Big word. Misconstrued sometimes. When you hear safe, it seems boring to some people. Safe, you think of a CD at the bank paying 1%, but there are some safe strategies that will grow your money, help you participate in the upside of the market, but not the downside, and give you lifetime income you can never outlive. That is the true safe, and that puts safety, gives you peace of mind if you have the right safety, doesn't it?
It sure does. And get a look at what the right safety plan for your retirement could be. Call Coach Pete's local trusted advisor, Craig Chandler of Chandler Wealth Management. 800-419-6164. 800-419-6164. 800-419-6164. Craig Chandler, 800-419-6164.
Hey, it's a Kimmer. Okay, you're driving along. Suddenly you hear that horrible sound of metal and crunching. It's an accident. Even if it's a little minor fender bender, man, that could be a nightmare. First, obviously, take care of yourself. But before you make a deal with an insurance company or anybody else, call David Van Sant with Van Sant Law. You know why? Because he used to work for the insurance company, so he knows how to get the right settlement and right away. Van Sant Law, don't forget, if you don't get paid, they don't get paid. Protecting your interests. Insurance is great, but it's complicated. 855-GA-INJURY or vansantlaw.com.
This is Window Nation, your source for affordable replacement windows at the highest quality. So if you've got old, drafty, sticking, or leaking windows, you need the experienced pros at Window Nation. You can pay a lot less and still get the premium windows you're dreaming of. Their custom windows are guaranteed to be a perfect fit, and they're backed by the best warranty in the industry. Go to getwindownation.com or call 866-90NATION for your free estimate. And for a limited time, get 50% off all window styles, plus pay no interest for 5 years.
The EQE electrifies the essence of Mercedes-Benz values. The road to the future might not even be a road. Why not travel in comfort, with confidence, and the competence to meet every new mile with a can-do attitude? That's the aptitude of the EQE SUV. Get an exceptional offer on the all-electric 2025 Mercedes-Benz EQE 250 Plus SUV, just $659 per month for 36 months with $79.53 due at signing, exclusively from RBM of Atlanta in Sandy Springs. Contact RBM of Atlanta for details on this vehicle and many other models during the Mercedes-Benz Dream Day sales event at RBM of Atlanta in Sandy Springs, extended through July 31st. Special lease rate available only to qualified customers, exclusively from Mercedes-Benz Financial Service through RBM of Atlanta, Sandy Springs through July 31st, 2025. Excludes tax, tag, title, and Georgia Lemon Law fees. Contact RBM of Atlanta for details on this and other exciting offers. Visit us at rbmofatlanta.com or call us at 770-390-0700 for details.
By texting 26022, you agree to receive recurring automated marketing messages from Tax Lien Code. Message and data rates may apply. Terms apply. Available at taxliencode.com.
Imagine waking up and not needing to rush. No commute, no emails, no boss. Just coffee, sunlight, and the freedom to choose. That's the power of tax lien investing. It's been around for over 200 years, used by banks, hedge funds, and the wealthy. And now, finally, it's being taught right here in Atlanta. It's secure, predictable, passive income backed by real estate and mandated by state law. And it pays you, sometimes 15 to 35% returns. You don't need to own property. You just need to see how it works and how to do it right. We've taught over 100,000 students, and we'll teach you for free at a live masterclass right here in Atlanta. If you're ready to start building real wealth through tax lien investing, this is it. Text EARN to 26022 to reserve your free seat. That's EARN to 26022. But hurry, seats are limited. Text EARN to 26022.
Hey, it's Front Office Lowe's here to tell you about a new company that is changing the way people buy their next pre-owned car or truck. At The Honest Car Guy, they offer a completely transparent way to purchase a vehicle. You pay what he pays, plus a small honest fee. You can choose any make or model. He will search the country for the best deal out there. He'll handle the paperwork, your trade-in, shipping, and even give you the bill of sale. Friends, I've done the research, and this is a buying process that you can trust. Call 844-SHOW-ME-1 or visit online at honestcarguy.com.
The stories that matter to you. These are your Georgia headlines.
Here are your Georgia headlines for Tuesday, July 22nd. The Cobb County Fire Department was honored Monday as the first department in the country to use a new treatment designed to stop bleeding in seconds. Trauma Gel, a plant-based gel with FDA approval, is being tested in 6 agencies across the country. Firefighters say it's a major game changer in saving lives and have used the new treatment 17 times so far, including on one of their own. Georgia Tech will build one of the world's most powerful supercomputers. The National Science Foundation has awarded the university with $20 million to build the supercomputer known as Nexus. It will use AI to develop faster breakthroughs in medicine, robotics, and aerospace. Nexus is expected to be ready next spring. And a special delivery in Douglas County as a woman gave birth in the backseat of her vehicle on the way to the hospital. A Douglas County deputy provided a police escort and assisted the family after the father flagged him down. The baby girl is happy and healthy and back home with family. Today's weather partly cloudy with highs in the low 90s. We'll have some scattered storms overnight. With your headlines, I'm Jerry Payne for Extra 106.3.
9 o'clock hours brought to you by Southern Exteriors, your home exterior solution since 1999. 8779 Southern. SouthernExteriors.co. Windows, doors, siding, roofing, gutters. They'll give you 10% off, or you can choose 0% financing for 12 months for any job at SouthernExteriors.co. PSL. We learned when the PSL would return, and that is the pumpkin spice latte. Those coming back on August 26th.
Oh, you basic bee.
Right.
My wife can't wait either.
August 26th.
So it's going to be 90 degrees, people having their pumpkin spice.
They're actually pushing it back.
Really?
Last year it was earlier. Yeah, for all the people that love. I've never had pumpkin spice anything in my entire life.
Oh, my wife waits all year.
Oh, mine too. Mine too. Don't get me wrong.
It's like my father-in-law when it comes to Samuel Adams Winter Lager.
He likes the pumpkin spice version?
No, just the straight winter lager.
Okay.
Their special winter lager that only comes out during that period of time. That man has had me drive around to Publix and buy every one that I can. And he tries to drink it all year long. That is his jam.
Wow.
Winter lager from Samuel Adams.
That's his PSL.
And my wife, hers is pumpkin spice.
Yeah, and it's funny because my wife even likes pumpkin spice beer. There's a couple like Leinenkugel that does them, and there's another.
There's a pumpkin head one that I've tried in the past.
Yeah,
it was actually now.
Yeah. I'm not pumpkin spice, and I'm not a beer guy either, too.
So I have a friend of mine, and he told me, he flat out told me because he would always buy pumpkin beer, and I love pumpkin beer. And I think one year he told me, because I skipped a year, he's like, dude, I'd never even looked in one of those bottles. It's like quadruple the calories in a beer. I think he said he put on like 7 pounds one fall from pumpkin beers. He's like, yeah, I'm not doing that ever again. But again, they're good. Have one.
Yeah,
he was drinking them all. He was drinking them all fall.
But see, that's the thing. Like, my wife will give me a little bit of a hard time. Not super, but she's always like, you drink those energy drinks. And I was like, okay, well, you drink coffee. She's like, but coffee's natural. I was like, yeah, but what crap you put in there is not. That's what. That's like calories. Crazy calories. Don't give me a hard time about my 0-calorie energy drink when you're pouring whatever that pumpkin spice creamer is in there.
All right, so a typical 12-ounce serving of pumpkin beer contains between, and I'll say it's on the other end of it, 150 to 289 calories.
Yeah, that sounds right.
So if you are one of the 99 calorie drinkers, the Miller Lights of the world or whatever else, and then you start downing the pumpkin beers at 289 a piece.
Yeah. You start blowing up quick.
That's how that 4 or 5, which would have been, here's my 500 calories of beer that I just had. Right. Well, you just ended up putting away like 1,500 calories in beer.
Good Lord, it's crazy. That's why you got to stick with the Mickey Ultras, right? They're like 99 calories or whatever.
But it go down like water.
If you just have one, though, it's fine.
Well, yeah, but
one
most
pumpkin
don't.
Beer.
But most don't.
The one local here, you talked about the Sam Adams Winter Ale. The Festive Ale by Sweetwater is a really, really good one, too. It's just like that. Mm-hmm. Really good.
Festive Ale. I love the way they name it. It's good. Fall's just around the corner. College football.
My father-in-law has a brand loyalty, so it's just what it is.
God bless him. God bless him. With the discussion of files being released, you've had the discussion for months. It seems like months. It seems never ending. It still pops up occasionally. The Epstein files. What are those? What is there? What hasn't been tampered with? There's so many questions a lot of people have about them. Yesterday, though, Donald Trump had promised that the MLK and the JFK files, the RFK files, all of them would start coming out. Yesterday, they dropped almost 240,000 files for MLK. And
I got through like 50.
You went through 50?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. See, I was probably 5 to 8. I'm a slow reader, I guess. You know what I mean?
They're redundant.
A lot of it is. I did notice that.
All right.
And I expected it to be a little more than it was.
You're allowed to search these by keyword, and I get why the family was concerned at the time, because the amount of work that the FBI put into tracking the personal interests of people like Martin Luther King Jr. were extensive. They had crazy files on him on allegedly infidelity and things that he was involved in his personal life. And so I get that the family was concerned that, well, what are you releasing? Well, as it turns out, this is all strictly tied to assassination and the government trying to get to the bottom of it. But not only that, then they actually kept track of what happened around the world. Like one of the files you'll read about is Japan, how Japan reacted to MLK Jr. being assassinated. And so in the interest of trying to be, disclose as much as possible, the administration did not do any of the real sultry stuff. They just strictly kept it to the assassination. And here's what we know. And here's what we're looking into. And here's the questions we're asking. But when you get right down to it, most of it is generally a nothing burger, the same way that the JFK stuff was.
That's right. And I wonder if that wasn't thought out to begin with. Like when why
do I have to tell you about a man's personal life to give you all the files on his assassination?
Right. And I feel like out of respect for the family, and you saw the note from the family because they didn't know what was coming. They just knew the files were released. They were very, very adamant about we would appreciate our privacy right now. Let's see what these things say because the adultery people knew about it. And I don't cast stones there. Do I approve of it?
By the way, do you think that that's very mainstream?
The understanding of that?
As far as what the FBI has on that, the letters they were writing him, the things they were threatening at that time period, just so we can go back there. I wasn't alive through it. I had to read so much of the history of it, documentaries and everything else. The federal government was concerned about movements. They were concerned about the anti-war movement, the hippie movement, and the civil rights movement. And so in a large part, they wanted to understand them, and then eventually they wanted to stop them. And it wasn't because they were trying to be racist when it came to the civil rights movement. When everything you read through, this looks like it might destroy the country.
Lead somewhere negative.
Same thing with the hippie movement.
Yeah.
This looks like this could be destroying of the country. Same thing with the anti-war movement. And so that's where, when you read through it, you start to say, no wonder they were collecting this kind of data to try and freak MLK Jr. from continuing this movement.
But the parts about the infidelity, the reason I feel like that was probably not explored or left out, at least in the release, is out of respect for the family and the legacy. And I felt like they did that with intent, because it doesn't matter. In the grand scheme of everything that you want to know about it, that has nothing to do with it. And is it good? No. But it doesn't change what actually happened.
But this is where I really link this back to the discussion we were having, and something that we bring up on this show regularly. There's only a few Mother Teresas in this world. Like, we did a story time on the amount of people that came from privileged backgrounds, great families, nice people, highly educated, go on to be murderous dictators. Because that's just, the power corrupted them, and this is what they wanted to do. Like, when you go into Che Guevara, there was nothing about his life when he was growing up where you went, oh, he's underprivileged. Like, no wonder he was like, no, they had thousands of books in his home. He was extremely well off. And yet it then turned into, how many people can I murder as part of this movement? Then you move over to other people where you say they're flawed, but they've done something great.
You could say the same thing about Donald Trump.
And that's where I was going to point that out. Donald Trump's a flawed character, but what he's doing is great stuff. In the same way that I would never look over at MLK and say, well, it's crazy you were involved in all this infidelity. I was like, I know what you were leading, and I know what you were teaching, and I know what you were writing about. And do these things have to marry up all the time, your personal life and your professional life? No, because it doesn't marry up for everybody either.
But I would even say for his ministry, is it bad that he was unfaithful? Of course it was. How many pastors over the years around the country have had infidelity in their relationships? Many of them. And that's the whole point of the faith, is that you are broken and you need that higher power. You need Christ. And that's the point.
But that's the point I'm making. Did it change the message?
No, of course not.
That was the whole idea of all this. It's that I didn't need to know about the man's infidelity or the things he was involved in or who he was with. Again, I get why the family was concerned about it.
Yeah, sure.
But when it came to these assassination files, you read through them and you go, all right, the federal government wanted to know as much as they could about what occurred. And that's where a lot of this ends. It's 200,000 pages of redundant nothingness.
And could it be the reason they chose to release what they did and not what they didn't was the relationship that Elvita King has with Donald Trump? I think that relationship's important to him. And I'm always so moved when I see her in support of conservative values. Her faith is important to her. And the relationship that she has with Donald Trump, I think, is pretty impressive, especially with I'm sure the pressure that she's under to uphold the King name and that legacy. And maybe some of her own family sees her in a negative light. But Donald Trump, with the respect that he has, because we've talked about him not needing yes men, but demanding loyalty, he sees her as loyal too, and he doesn't want to do anything to damage her family and that legacy. That's total speculation, but Elvita King is a big advocate for Donald Trump.
I fully expected that when the discussion point had started a couple of years ago, well, all this is going to come out. And I went, man, that's going to be problematic for people.
Yeah.
To know this and then to read about it and to see, not only for King and his legacy, but also for what the FBI was involved in. I think this works out on both sides. You didn't know Hoover's FBI was filthy.
Oh, yeah.
J. Edgar Hoover's FBI was filthy in what they were doing in order to have sway over people. Like, we want to talk about, here's what the operations were on Epstein Island. Dude, we're the ones who perfected this stuff. We were great at the honeypot operations.
Which I think most people feel like there was probably some of that going on. And that's why Epstein had the power he did, right? Because the intel community taught him.
But those pieces of information on that family and the FBI probably don't need to see the light of day. Unless, you were going to tear down the FBI and scatter it to the wind.
I wouldn't be opposed to that. I don't know about you.
You can't fix it right now.
Doesn't seem like it. Because a lot of those people that worked in that Obama administration and Biden administration trying to tear down Donald Trump in his first administration still work in the FBI, in the CIA. Some of those people are still there, those deep staters. When we continue on Extra 106.3, two people did a TV show together. Both have become irrelevant for the same reasons. Next on Extra.
The latest sports news, powered by 680 The Fan and driven to extra listeners by RBM of Atlanta in Sandy Springs, Atlanta's Mercedes-Benz connection since 1964.
Good morning. Here are your sports headlines for Tuesday, July 22nd. The Atlanta Braves took the opening game of their 3-game series against the San Francisco Giants at Truist Park. 9-5, the final. Game 2 is set for tonight. It'll be Davis Daniel set to make the start for the Braves. Landon Raup on the mound for the Giants. First pitch is set for 7:15. You can hear that game live on our sister station's brand new app, 680 The Fan. From the NFL, the season is nearly here. The Falcons will open training camp this week from Flowery Branch with the first on-field workouts beginning on Thursday. With your sports headlines, I'm Carlos Medina.
Compact outside, the all-electric EQB 250 Plus SUV is big on space, style, and smart ideas. With available seating for 7, a digital voice assistant, and MB navigation with electric intelligence, the EQB is born from a forward-thinking family and built for yours. Get an exceptional offer on the all-electric 2025 EQB 250 Plus SUV. Just $359 per month for 36 months with $49.53 due at signing, exclusively from RBM of Atlanta in Sandy Springs. Contact RBM of Atlanta for details on this vehicle and many other models during the Mercedes-Benz Dream Day sales event at RBM of Atlanta in Sandy Springs, extended through July 31st. Special lease rate available only to qualified customers exclusively from Mercedes-Benz Financial Service through RBM of Atlanta, Sandy Springs through July 31st, 2025. Excludes tax, tag, title, and Georgia Lemon Law fees. Contact RBM of Atlanta for details on this and other exciting offers. Visit us at rbmofatlanta.com or call us at 770-390-0700 for details.
You should never need financing for a simple garage door repair, but it's happening here. Out-of-town companies have invaded Atlanta for a cash grab, charging outrageous prices. Hi, I'm Dan Watkins, owner of All Four Seasons Garage, Entry Doors, and Windows. Stay local and stay on budget for every opening of your home. All Four Seasons, trusted in Atlanta for over 25 years, exceptional customer service, and fair, honest pricing. When trust matters, trust us. All the number 4 seasonsgarages.com.
Gentlemen, listen up. When it's not hard, it's really hard. Did you know that 50% of men over 50 have some form of ED? It's true, and I'm one of them. ED followed me everywhere. Heck, even my initials are ED. I'm Dr. Eric Deal from Total Body Therapy of Georgia, and I know ED. It can lead to feelings of embarrassment, stress, and sadness. But there's good news. I can fix it. I fixed mine, and I can fix yours too. At Total Body Therapy of Georgia, we are experts in the P-shot, testosterone replacement, regenerative therapy, trimix to create an erection, and more. Guys, ED won't get better on its own, but I can help you today. Call us at 404-777-1911. That's 404-777-1911, or learn about us more online at tbtofga.com. So take it from me, ED, Dr. Eric Deal at Total Body Therapy of Georgia. Call 404-777-1911 or online at tbtofga.com.
Military veterans are eager to transfer their skills and experiences to civilian life, but lack trusted connections to expedite their path to success. That is, until they meet the Warrior Alliance. The Warrior Alliance goes the extra mile to reach veterans in their communities so they do not have to take this journey alone. With over 40 partners across 10 service areas, your donation goes a long way toward achieving maximum impact for a veteran and their family. Go to thewarrioralliance.org to donate today and commit to helping the Warrior Alliance change thousands of lives for the better.
Are you a parent of a 2 to 8-year-old? Listen closely for an exciting offer, then head to abcmouse.com/radio to learn more. By now, you've probably heard of ABC Mouse.
ABC Mouse is like a little one-on-one teacher. It has helped her so much.
We're offering a promo at abcmouse.com/radio to try it for free for a month, then $14.99 per month until canceled. Go to abcmouse.com/radio to see this offer. That's abcmouse.com/radio. Actual ABC Mouse users compensated for their testimonials, sponsored by Age of Learning.
The older I get, the more I think about trust. I think about the people in my life who have my trust and earned my trust, and the trust that I have placed in some people who I later learned abused that trust. I know we're alike in that way. We don't trust a lot of people anymore. It's like we're all Ronald Reagan, trust but always verify to make sure we're not making a mistake. I find it a little exhausting, quite honestly, and that's why I started realestateagentsitrust.com. I didn't have good experiences with buying and selling my homes, so we built Real Estate Agents I Trust to introduce you to one of the thousands of agents all over the country that we work with, that we have verified that they will help you have the most successful and good real estate transaction possible. Our network agents share our sensibilities, have great track records, are good and decent people, and I trust them to help you with your real estate needs. So whether you're moving across town or across the country, visit realestateagentsitrust.com. The name says it all, realestateagentsitrust.com.
Get the latest breaking news and insight from the biggest conservative voices in the South when you follow Extra 106.3 across all your social media platforms. Find us on Facebook, X, Instagram, and YouTube at Extra 106.3.
There are games afoot. We have figured it out. Well, figured out that something's happening, because it was supposed to be at 8:30 where we heard from Jerome Powell.
Yeah, that was the word last night, that there would be an announcement at 8:30 in the morning that he was going to speak about having a criminal referral brought forth against him by Anna Paulina Luna, the representative from Florida. And again, this administration's been going after his head. Now, apparently, it's going to be 2:30.
There's some arm wrestling going on. This is like over the top back in the day.
Some stuff going on.
Yeah,
somebody's got their hat turned backwards.
That's right.
Turned into a machine.
That's right. Exactly right. So 2:30, we'll be looking for that this afternoon, right before the Kimmer show. So maybe something pops there and you'll hear Kimmer talk about it.
Kimmer will start at
3 to 6.
3:03 with that.
Yeah. If that's the case, if something big happens at 2:30, he definitely will.
Kimmer, you best start the show with it. I'm going to be waiting.
Yeah, right.
You better not even say hello to anybody. Just say Jerome Powell.
and what his status is.
That's right. I don't even want you to visit the mountains. Don't even say hey to Flounder.
Yeah.
Just start off with Jerome Powell.
And
then go from there.
Whatever it is. Fill it, ... That's what it is. So that's this afternoon, 2:30. We'll be watching it as well. I want to flash back to 2018 when Stephen Colbert asked Senator Harris if they had evidence of Russian collusion. Interesting now that neither of them have a job.
Was there an investigation that concluded in their official report, the majority report, the Republican report, saying no collusion?
Right.
Where are you guys?
Our investigation is still open, and we will go wherever the facts take us.
Okay, so are there things you know? Hold on. Are there things that you know that you can't tell us that you'd like to tell us?
Absolutely. All of the above is true.
Are they good?
Yeah, they're good. What she was referring to is that it's all a hoax. She wanted to tell you that it was all a lie, but she couldn't. And it would be, it would be catastrophic to the Obama administration if you knew it was a hoax. Everything was a lie. That's what she knew. Now, of course, she wasn't going to tell you that. She was going to lead you down the path that there was something juicy, and Colbert leaned into it. Is it good? Is it good? Is it real good?
Did you see the video from Jon Stewart last night?
Yeah.
And he had his retort.
Yeah.
Now, it was done in a funny fashion. Sure. I did not take any kind of offense to it, where he brought basically a church choir to tell Donald Trump to F off. It's funny.
Yeah.
This is comedy. It's funny. It's playing the audience.
Yep.
I don't get yet how these people have not been able to equate maybe it's just because I've been in radio so long. Revenue, ratings equals employment. It's very rare when somebody is willing to have a loss leader where, how are we losing this many millions of dollars on something?
40.
In this case, 40 million, and yet we still continue to roll with it. You could air reruns of Hee Haw and lose less money.
I'd watch.
If CBS decided every night at 11 o'clock, we're airing Hee Haw, you're not going to lose $40 million.
Mm-mm. That's the reason MTV plays all those old movies nowadays, because they're like, somebody will watch Pretty Woman.
Yeah.
Somebody will watch Die Hard.
Oh, there's always somebody who's willing to watch Blade at 10 o'clock at night.
That's exactly right. That's the reason they do it. That's exactly right. You know what people weren't willing to watch? Stephen Colbert anymore. And the ratings reflected it. And losing $40 million is a business decision. It's so obvious what was going on. If you run a small business, obviously $40 million is probably not what you're making, or maybe it is. But if you lost that kind of money, would you still be in business? And the answer is obviously no.
But there is such a thing as a loss leader.
Sure, but that's a bottle of shampoo at the front of the Walmart.
Right. In this case, if it's costing me, let's say just for instance, let's say Colbert Show cost me $5 million a year. All right, what am I then getting out of that $5 million that I'm losing? I'm getting to promote all of my CBS programming. Mm-hmm. I'm getting to have my stars come on to promote the show that'll hopefully grow. That's why a loss leader does exist. Like, there's a radio station in town that takes a $3 million loss on a product every single year because they use it to promote all their other shows. Squawk. And I'm like, that is a crazy loss. $3 million a year? That's a hit. That's nuts.
That's a hit.
So if you told me that Colbert is losing $5 million a year, but you get to promote all this other stuff, then maybe you're getting it back somewhere else, but not $40 million. That doesn't make any sense.
Even $5 million. There's
even 5, you're like,
there's 1,000 podcasts you could put all those people on, and there's podcasters. There's about 2 billion of them in the world that are dying to have your guy on because somebody actually knows who it is, and they'll listen to that episode and get clicks and get maybe subscriptions. And not cost you $5 billion.
It's just changing.
It is.
It's the reason why we love you listening to this radio station at the same time. We're like, download the app. You can listen in podcast form.
At your leisure.
Because it doesn't matter when you consume us. Like, I don't care if it's live, if you're sending us correspondence on X, or if you're hitting us up later because you listen to it in podcast form. All of that is the flexibility of how we exist. Not everybody's doing it that way, and you're seeing $40 million go down the drain, and that's why Colbert will not have a position here in several months.
And that's the reason Kamala won't have a position.
But I also get the anger because Colbert is looking at this, and I saw some of the story. CBS was also using his show as a way to get closer to the administration, to push narratives, and they looked at it as, well, it's worth the money. So Colbert's looking at it as like, I'm doing what I've been told I'm doing, and now you burn me?
Yeah. Yeah, no, I get it. I get it too. It makes sense. But what makes more sense is you can't lose $40 million a year and stay in business.
No, not when the atmosphere changes.
And then throw on top of that the merger. If you're trying to merge with another company and they see a $40 million loss on your books, they're going, well, hang on.
It's going to be a problem.
I don't believe we can do that anymore.
I mean, private equity. When private equity comes into any situation.
Dude, we've seen it so many times up close.
The first thing they're doing is they're looking for inefficiencies. Now, you might say, you know what, this person, it's only $30,000. Look what all the stuff they do. Private equity's like, nope, gone. Now, how about $40 million? You know?
That's right. Dude,
done.
Yeah.
I mean, part of the reason why MSNBC cannot be sold as of now, when NBC has been trying, Comcast has been trying to unload it because the numbers aren't right.
Why would anybody pay anything for it? You could start from scratch and have those numbers. You could play Hee Haw at night and have those numbers. You don't even need it. You could just
I went with Hee Haw.
I love Hee Haw, dude. I'm wearing my Hee Haw t-shirt tomorrow. I love Hee Haw. But my point is that you could start a YouTube channel. You don't need MSNBC. You could start a YouTube channel and have those and generate those kind of numbers. So for Colbert, sure, it sucks to lose your job. Absolutely. And I take no joy in him losing his job. I don't. I take zero joy in it. But I understand.
It's the business.
I've seen it play out 1,000 times. Do you know how many morning shows I've seen fired in radio when the consultant or the company said, "Here's what we're going to do. Here's how we're planning this. This is the way we're positioning it. This is the way we're going to go about the clocks. We're doing everything, and you're going to follow the textbook way that we do things, and we always do things." And then it falls apart and fails. Guess who gets fired? Not the company.
Nope.
The people who followed the direction of the company, no different than Stephen Colbert.
The only way, in order to be able to hold on to long-term stability, either do it on your own, you just do it, but now you got to grow it on your own.
Yeah, which ain't easy.
Be Pat McAfee, be Joe Rogan, or you better make sure the bang to hype ratio is intact. And what I mean by that is what we bring in versus what goes out. And as long as that is way in the plus, you're in good shape. But that's once the bang to hype ratio gets out of whack, like it did with Colbert, doesn't matter how talented you are.
It does not. And that's why you can name about 10 people that have done it on their own and made it work, like a McAfee. I mean, look at what Glenn Beck did. He started it on his own and made it successful and then sold it because it was so challenging. And he didn't want the restrictions. And he sold his Blaze Media. I didn't even know that. Los told me that. Earlier this week, I heard Beck talking about it. I was like, couldn't believe it. Anyway, that'll do it for us. Thank you for being here. We appreciate you. Stick around for Beck and Clay and Buck, and then the afternoon show with the Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder. For Jeray and Los, I'm Tug. Y'all come back now. You hear?
Live and local news talk continues at 3 p.m. with Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder. It's the Kimmer Show, only on Xtra 106.3 and the Xtra app.